After the opening series races at Daytona and Charlotte, the Area Truck Series heads to round 3 at Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa. Welcome all to the Area Truck Series Sim TV. I'm Kyle Heyer, joined by Connor Horn tonight for the Area Truck Series from Iowa Speedway. Connor, welcome back. This is going to be a fun one. Short track trucking tonight on a Tuesday, and it is a big field of trucks. 43 right now on the entry list with 4 minutes left here in practice. It's going to be a wild 155-lap race.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's been wild the 2 times the Truck Series has gone here. There's 8 yellows in each of those races. Hoping for some clean running tonight, but like you said, a big field. Anything could happen. Depending on if anyone else joins, could see some go homers. We'll wait to see just in case, but we'll definitely see a new winner at Iowa tonight. Previous 2 winners, Matthew Bell and Nicholas Trader, not in the field in the Truck Series this season, so we are definitely going to see a new driver atop the podium after 155 laps or more.
0.8-mile racetrack, 4 turns here at Iowa Speedway in this small little interstate side town. Iowa Speedway hosts several driving schools year-round. Some of them hosted on the Roval, which you see on the bottom right of your screen. Yes, this track has a Roval. It was used by the Grand Am Sports Car Series in the mid-2000s a couple of times. Not the best layout in the world for sports car racing, let's just say that. But it is a great short track for oval racing. On top of the point standings, James Scioli comes in leading by 10 over Brad Slaughter Jr., then 2 more back to Tom Bourne, 5 more back to Senesac, and 1 more back to Justin Anasogak. The wins on the season so far, Anasogak and Scioli. Justin at Daytona, James at Charlotte. Connor, the points so far, still pretty close. Obviously, we're only a couple rounds in, but Scioli establishing a 10-point lead pretty early.
He's looking to try to get the second of the 3 area championships that he can collect. He's trying to got the Pro Series last year, trying to go maybe for the Truck Series championship this year. Already got that win, top 5 in both races. Only driver to do that. Really, the only driver to survive Daytona for a good finish. Up on the top of the points by 10 over teammate Brad Slaughter Jr. David Weishart Racing at the top of everything right now. 1, 2, 4 in the standings. That team only split by Tom Bourne, who's in 3rd. David Weishart Racing really solid. Primary race team, Hartman Coupe Motorsports up there as well. But then you got the teams a little bit down the order. Jacob Bell Racing, even with Anasogak's victory, only 5th. And Fizika's Motorsports, who I believe had all 4 trucks out at Charlotte last week. They're down in 8th. So a lot of comers and goers I think we're going to see here in the next few weeks.
And lots of drivers with us with driver cameras tonight, and a handful of them floating around waiting for us to jump to them. One of them being the number 6 of Justin Munsell, who rolls to a stop, and he will set his number 6 Raycon Toyota Tundra TRD Pro back to the pit lane here. Talking about the points leader, though, James Scioli, I do not see him in the entry list here, Connor, perhaps skipping a week here. Tom Bourne is 3rd in the standings, and he is down the order in 30th place. So he's got some work to do if that's all the pace that FRN truck has tonight.
I do see Scioli on my entry list, but he's not in the session, so we'll see if he does skip this. He would be the 44th entry, so he would see someone go home. But yes, Tom Bourne, high in the points, good points to start this season, but down there in 30th. And he's not going to make a better time in traffic. We'll see if he can improve a little bit here. Oh, that's not going to be an improvement. We're going to see that a lot tonight. We're going to likely see that in turn 2, but turn 4 is a trouble spot too.
Though he may not be a road racer in particular, he's probably looking forward to a home race next week in Watkins Glen. I'm headed there tomorrow for Grid Life, so we'll be there this weekend as we watch a couple trucks struggling here. Here's David Weishart in 29, down in 18th place with 1:30 left here in practice. At the moment, time's very close. There are 18 trucks within a 1/10 of a second at the top of the board. That is phenomenal.
That is pretty wild, especially for a small track like Iowa, a bumpy track like Iowa. You can really make a mistake easily, but everyone on top of each other. This qualifying this session is going to be a blast, as we only have about a minute left to put your fast lap down and try to put a mock qualifying run down. Not a lot of room to make a mock qualifying run, but a lot of drivers trying to do that now. They're still trying to chase Brad Slaughter Jr., who's at the top of the pylon here tonight.
And it looks like James Scioli did join, so that will send somebody home. Alan Elwood, Ryan Olson, Dawson Miller, Brian Chambliss, Bobby Tinch, Chris Rabel, Carter Hayden, Shane Therian, Charles Canita, Gary Waterworth, or Joseph Jones would be the ones that go home here when we get our qualifying session underway here in just a moment. Now, qualifying on the short tracks under a mile, I believe, is 2 laps instead of the 1 that we've been doing so far this season, and we'll see how that will pan out, giving drivers another lap to go quick here at the 8/10 of a mile Iowa Speedway.
I think that if I had to guess, it might probably have something to do with being under a mile racetrack. At Dover, it's tough to get the tires ready for a lap, but especially at Iowa, the same thing, especially with the bumps down there at 1 and 2, you could really ruin a lap pretty easily, but 2 laps gives you a chance to kind of settle in and learn the track and get your tires up to temp before you really go for a hot lap.
Well, practice is complete as we get set up here for qualifying. Race fans, be sure to subscribe to the Area iRacing Twitch channel for only $5 a month. You can watch all area broadcasts commercial-free. You can also use new Area iRacing emotes in the chat, and you'll earn double channel points as a subscriber that you can use to redeem for free merchandise. Head over to twitch.tv/Area iRacing. You join us live 3 times a week, Monday for the Cup Series, Tuesday for the Truck Series, and Thursday for the Pro Series. Qualifying underway now, and trucks taken to the racetrack, the first of which I can see is Garrett Grant in the number 42. He is up and rolling and headed onto the back straightaway.
Yep, he's going to be one of the first ones out. Carter Hayden is, I believe, the first one who's going to get out there. Dean Thompson, Tom Bourne, Bobby Tinch, they all get out immediately. Usually you wait to see if you get a cloud, but they don't really need to wait for a cloud. We have got almost a stormy look to this race tonight. Clouds all over the place, and this track is almost completely covered.
A good look at Carter Hayden in the number 99, working his way off of turn number 2 now on his first lap. Now, of the 2 laps, which one do you think is going to be the quicker one, Connor? We've seen most of the time your second lap is faster, but that's not always the case at a short track. Whoa!
Oh,
well, this one won't
it's going to be
fast.
lap 2 in this sense.
Not going to be a quick one for Carter Hayden. That time around, he'll grind to a halt and reset, go back and start over. Here's Garrett Grant. He goes, for the moment, almost to the top of the board because Dean Thompson has gone to the top of the number 5.
Garrett Grant trying to get one more lap in. I think it's going to be lap 2. I don't think the tires are going to be in good enough condition to put a pole run down lap 1. I think you still get a good time down lap 1, but I think your chances for a pole run is on that second lap, just like it was for Garrett Grant. He goes to the top of the board at 23.312. Tom Bourne, Joseph Jones follow him in second and third. So I think lap 2 is what you should aim for if you want to fight for the pole. Here's
Bobby Tinch working his way around the number 54 Chevrolet Matco Tools truck, and 7th on lap number 1. Michael Curhan goes to the top on his second lap in the number 24 at 23.251. We saw times better than that here in practice. We'll see if he gets all the way up. I think Tinch might have scraped the wall there out of 4.
Yes, he did. It just ran out of room, just barely. Didn't hit it hard, but that's all it takes to get the lap out of order. Michael Curhan's at the top of the board right now as we see a number of drivers on track. I'm looking personally at Philip York. He's coming through turn 4 right now to start his very first time lap as he ran that top line in 3 and 4. Something we definitely always see in qualifying, trying to run the top to get the run down the front straightaway, but we might see that as a viable line out of turn 4 as long as he's not sliding like he did out of turn number 2. He's going to run the top again to really try to get the tires warmed up and get a run to the line.
Yeah, I'm going to run down the hill here just a little bit out of turn 4 now. See what York does on lap number 1 with that slip up out of turn 2 at 23.660. They'll put him 9th, but it's really that second lap that we've seen be the quick one. Big bump in the center of 1 and 2 here. You have to fight the truck a lot through that particular corner as Mason Kane jumps up to 3rd place in the number 31 truck. Here comes
Cameron Hearn. Cameron Hearn just jumped to the top, just barely above Curhan. But here comes his 97. He'll cross the line, 23.332. Really good lap for the 97. Slots him in 4th. But Cameron Hearn still trying to look to turn some luck around. He had horrid luck last week. A little bit better this week in the Cup Series at Dover, but we'll see what he does on his 10th mile Iowa. He's on pole, provisional pole for the time being.
Whoa, Carter Coop, big slide there out of turn 4, and that was at the end of one lap, the beginning of another, so that's going to compromise both laps as Travis Beckner in the 28 rolls up to speed.
So Beckner can do. He's just not been able to start near the front this week. I think he started 33rd or somewhere like that yesterday and finished 6th. Definitely the hard charger award. Hopefully he doesn't need to do that. This is a tough track to get to the front at from starting in the back. Both winners previously here started in the top 3, so if you start up front, you're very likely to finish up front as well.
That's really interesting. Last night at Dover, we saw lots of big movers in that race, despite it taking a long time for them to get there. Iowa, though, for the Pro Series and for the Truck Series this week, different from the Cup Series round. Devin Schillingberg jumps up to 4th place in the number 9. Beckner at 23.514, good enough for 16th on lap 1. But we've never really seen Travis qualify that strongly. It's actually kind of an outlier scenario when he does qualify well, Connor. but he doesn't run poorly. So he's usually the exception. Is Weishart to the top of the board at 23.219. That's a quick lap.
That is a really solid lap. Beckner out of 4, wiggly, but still straight. Turns it down to find some time. 23.248. How about that for a qualifying run? That puts him third. Literally a thousandth, of a second behind Cameron Hurd. Slots him in third.
Aiden Robertson in the 53. This is his second lap, 17th on the first lap. Bryce Senesac trips 18th after both of his attempts. Here comes the number 53 Silverado, a little loose out of turn 4, but it's going to be an improvement by a 10th. That'll knock him up the board all the way to 14th.
It puts him up there. I was trying to get clarification on the 44 trucks in because James Carley hasn't joined yet. I believe he's finishing the eNASCAR College Series. They're at Daytona. So he's going to be locked in regardless because he's on the team. So those drivers you did mention earlier, they are fighting to not be that one driver out. Olsen, Miller, Chambliss, Tinch, a number of others trying to avoid being the one and only driver out tonight.
There's Chris Rabel in the 33. Didn't really have a night to... We talked about him a little bit last night, but he never really got up into the mix up front. See if he can have better luck here tonight in the Truck Series. And he'll roll high lane again. It seems like everyone's figured out this strategy. Almost qualifying like you would at a plate track.
Yes, but say it is kind of like that, where you really just have to get the momentum up out of the corner and just run it to the line to get that momentum as fast as possible in turn number 1. He went down to the bottom in 1 and 2. You see how harsh those bumps are, but you kind of need the run down there still to make time. 3 and 4 much smoother near that yellow line through turns 3 and 4. He needs a good lap. He needs to make it in on speed. Coming to the line, 23.274, and that should be good enough. That puts him 6th.
He's 6th, on board now with Alan Elwood. A very slow opening lap of 24.242. So maybe saving a little extra tire temperature to keep those tires cool. And now right against the bottom. Good line in 3 and 4. Walks it up the hill and very tidy, but was it too tidy? This time a 23.366. That's only going to be good enough for about 15th spot.
And he's ran well in both races, but he has not had good luck. He got wrecked in an incident with Travis Beckner last week and was part of the carnage at Daytona, so still looking to turn things around at the beginning of this season. A few more drivers on track right now. Looking at Justin Munsell, he needs something to go his way in this series. He's all the way down 37th in points, and that's not how it's going to go hard.
And that was on lap number 2 for Justin Munsell, so he will have quite the night to make up some time. And Ryan Olsen is on track now, the number 75 Silverado. See what he can do. Oh, well, lap 1 will be a throwaway.
Oh, don't cross the line. He doesn't, so he'll be able to get another run at it. He is another one who needs to make it in on speed, so he has to have this time.
Here's Dustin Scruggs in the 22. If I recall correctly, he was near the top in practice. And lap 1 for him is going to be a 23.548. Slow, but that usually means that second lap is going to see an even bigger pickup.
Really smooth in 1 and 2. No issues there whatsoever. You see the truck get out of shape over those bumps, but he was really solid over them, as close to that yellow line as you can be through 3 and 4. This looks like it could be a good one, but is he not carrying enough speed? Coming to the line, 23.294, top 10. That puts him 8th, exactly.
Yeah, so close. Again, there are 10 drivers within a 10th of a second. Eric Wineland resets to go again. Ricky Harden is on track now. He's just getting his laps set up to go here.
See what he can do. Has already got the best wreck avoidance this season. We saw it Tuesday at 2 weeks ago at Daytona, a wild avoidance. Still looking to get some momentum for the rest of this season. On his first lap, he's not going to go to the top. He's going to just go to the bottom and try to get 2 really good laps in. You'll see what this lap is. 23.447, only 25th. See what he can do here.
Ryan Olsen working his way around. And Olsen slower on his second lap, a 24.156.
He might be his last out of all the qualifiers, so he's likely going to need some help if he wants to make this race.
And for Ricky Harden, is it an improvement? Yes, by a 10th. Not as much as I'm sure he would have liked.
Leaves only 4 other drivers who need to put a time down. Eric Weiland's on his second lap. He ran a 25-second lap, really saving the tires on his first lap. We'll see what he does on his second lap, going full send in his Ford F-150 and all the way up to
wow.
5th.
Good lap there by Eric Wineland. He'll be happy with that. As Justin Munsell makes, well, he was going to make another attempt, but I think he might have actually used him up. Justin Michael is done. Looks like pretty much everyone that is rolling is already complete with their qualifying effort. So Justin Munsell will not get a time. Everyone else, though, on the scoreboard does. No James Scioli, notably here, Connor, so he's missed qualifying and now only has a couple minutes before the race will start without him.
And yeah, like I was saying, I believe I was told he might be in the college series still. So he is locked in regardless. It should be, I believe, unfortunately for Ryan Olsen, he would be the one going home, slowest of the open qualifiers. So unfortunately, probably will not race tonight. I don't know what will happen if Skyler doesn't make it, but he is the last open driver at this moment. But yeah, everyone tried to put a time down. Justin Munsell was the only one just unlucky to get sideways out of turn 2, couldn't get a time down. He's going to have a long climb up the order.
Sounds like Ryan Olsen might be the odd man out when it comes to the race tonight. And it's kind of a bummer because Scioli isn't even here to take the start of the race just yet. So to get bumped by a driver that's not even participating, that might leave some sore feelings coming into this one. With such a big grid, though, Connor, just survival tonight is going to be the name of the game. Short tracks, truck racing, you know it gets physical out there. 155 laps isn't a particularly long race. It should go pretty quick if it goes green from flag to flag, Connor, but it's still going to be a grueling run-through for everyone to get up into the mix without getting turned around or involved in an accident.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be name of the game. Just keep your nose clean and you'll get a good finish. But it's gonna be hard to do that. We're gonna see a lot of bumper to bumper in the first few laps, especially down in turns number 1 and 2. It's gonna be very, very difficult to keep your nose clean with all the stacking up going on. No one wants to really be too wide, 2x2 here early on. So I think you're gonna see a lot of drivers try to get in line, but you're gonna see some odd drivers out. Just like Ryan Olsen, who will not make this race. You're going to see some drivers kind of get pushed wide, and you're going to see some contact of drivers just trying to stay out of things. Usually when you're trying to stay out of contact and conflict, you usually find your way into it accidentally.
You're watching the Iowa 155 here on Sim TV. Kyle Heyer joined by Connor Horn tonight. We'll have Thursday night Aerial Pro Series action from Iowa as well. That'll be 8:40 Eastern come this Thursday, but before we get rolling, our Roasted Gems Coffee starting lineup is coming here shortly. Race fans, start your engines with a fresh cup of Roasted Gems Coffee. Choose from some of the finest coffee beans from Colombia and Peru, or try the blended flavors of French vanilla and hazelnut. Use discount code Area iRacing for 10% off your order at checkout at roastedgems.com. We'll head down to the grid and get things rolling here in just a moment. Connor, the Roasted Gems Coffee starting grid is going to take us a while, so let's get moving. Row number 1, it's going to be David Weishart on pole in the number 29 in his Chevy Silverado. Cameron Hearn trying to turn his luck around, starts in second in his number 4 Ford F-150.
At row number 2, we got one driver who usually does not qualify well. Travis Beckner starts 3rd. In 4th place, someone who qualified well Monday night at Dover, Michael Curhan. He'll start 4th.
In 5th place, it's Eric Wineland, the number 21 Ford. Hank Kasten, good effort there in 36, starts 6th in his Chevy Silverado.
Chris Erba, one of the open trucks to make it in on speed, and he made it in easily. He starts 7th alongside JT Poole, who almost stole the win for me last night. He starts 8th.
9th place, Dustin Scruggs in his number 22 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Devin Schillingberg wraps up the top 10 in his number 9 truck.
Garrett Grant in the 42, one of those Fazekas Motorsports trucks who needs to turn the luck around. Everyone in an incident last week. He starts 11th. Danny Ware making his 100th area start. He starts 12th.
And in 13th place, Ted Wade in the number 32. Philip York starts 14th in the number 97.
Daytona winner Justin Anasogak starts back in 15th alongside someone who's been impressive so far. New paint scheme on the 31 truck of Mason Kane.
And behind them in 17th place, it is Tom Bourne in the number 16 truck. Ricky Hardin starts 18th in that number 15.
Rounding out the top 20, Alan Elwood in the 10 Silverado alongside Blaine Harrison in the 66.
21st place is Aiden Robertson in the number 53. Greg Mitchell starts 22nd in the number 2 truck.
Is that row number 12? It's Terry Labonte and Kyle Busch. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's Josh Taylor and Gary Waterworth. Gary Waterworth, paint scheme. Look at who's right behind him in 25th.
Joseph R. Jones, another Kyle Busch lookalike there. Edward Scherer Jr. starts 26th in the number 51.
Jacob Bell starts 27th alongside Swervin' Paul Irvin in the 3 truck.
And there's Charles Canita, the number 43, 29th. Bryce Senesac in the 09 starts 30th.
And then bottom half of the field we're going through here, 31st place Ryan Swan in the 1 truck alongside Truck Series driver Dean Thompson starting 32nd.
33rd place is Shane Therian in the number 83. Brad Slaughter Jr. starts 34th in the number 8. Second place in the points, 34th to start this race.
He's got a long climb, and he's got to be very, very careful. Logan Hartman starts 35th. Alongside him, the 52 of Carter Cooper, who had trouble in practice, he starts 36th.
37th is Bobby Tinch in the number 54. Bronson Stafford, 38th in the number 61.
Braden Goddard rounding out the top 40, starting 39th. Alongside him, I believe is going to be the 99 of Carter Hayden in 40th.
And 41st place, I think Ryan Olson is the one going home. So row number 21 will be Justin Michael and then Justin Munsell. And there is going to be no James Scioli to start.
He is in there.
Oh, did he make
just got in there. He is literally just joined, so he'll start 43rd. He actually finished second in his College Series race at Daytona, so great run for him, and he'll try to cap it off with a win last the first here tonight.
Yeah, we'll see him join the racetrack here shortly. I did not see him on the timing screen on ATVO just yet. I'm sure he'll populate shortly here. 1 to go this time, though. Connor, who you got winning this thing? There's a lot of trucks in this field. I would have put my money on the 8 of Brad Slaughter, but as he said in the chat, he done goofed. It's a long night for him. So I'm going to go with the 28 of Travis Beckner. I think he short track kings it tonight.
Yeah, I think we're going to see someone from a top 10 win. I'll respect the Scioli, but I'll leave the booth if he goes last to first to win tonight. My pick, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Cameron Hurd. He's got to turn the luck around. He's starting up at the front. He was fast here last year in a Lodge Box Series. I think Cameron Hurd finally gets back in the winner's circle.
All right, if this race were to go green from start to finish, I told you it would be short, 1 hour and 3 seconds. Guarantee it won't go green from flag to flag. There's going to be a lot of trouble along the way. You're watching Sim TV and the Iowa 155, the Area Truck Series, race number 3 of the season here in 2023. Green flag flies. We're racing at Newton, Iowa. Lap 1 complete, side by side. Cameron Hearn and David Weishart battling door to door. Beckner watching from behind, and they're 3 wide behind him going into turn 1. Mason Kane in the 31 is one of those trucks, but the leaders now to 4 powers around the outside.
Oh, crash! The 2, Greg Mitchell's around. In the wall, cautions out.
And trying to jump down the order to grab him, and there he is rolling down the banking. And as far as I can tell, the only truck that got any severe damage, at least that was stopped. Lap 2, yellow flag. Let's have a look.
Does not get better for Fazekas Motorsports. Not a good start. We'll see what happens on our first Sim Rat Market replay of the night. 3 wide into turn 1. That's Aiden Robertson.
Yeah.
Just getting into the left rear.
That's going to be a common thing tonight, is that charge down into turn 1, because you're leaning on the brakes quite a bit here, and it's very easy to just kind of slip up the racetrack and get somebody. So that's unfortunate for Greg Mitchell. But he's going to be put all the way to the back of the field. You know who has a huge break for was James Scioli, because he's going to love all the opportunities to get some restarts and claw his way forward. Look how many spots he made up already.
I was about to say, he started dead last. He's at least up 8 spots. He's up in 36, so 7 spots. Wow, that didn't take too long, but he's still got a long way to go. 53 will get the EO for that. That was lucky for everyone that was only 1 truck. Roberson hit the 2, and the 2 kind of stayed up against the wall, so credit to Mitchell for doing that. But that's not going to be the last of that for sure. For his other teammate, Cameron Hearn, it was a good first couple laps there. He's able to get the lead from Weishart with a great initial jump. Yeah, that was a very strong run around the outside here, but it's that bottom lane. You can actually see a little bit in the rubber where it gets darker and then lighter, and that's because the trucks are compressing over that bump. So they come through on the bottom of the racetrack right against that yellow line, and you bounce and slam the splitter over it. The further you go up the racetrack, the less that bump affects you, but the longer you're running. And the shorter the track and the wider the track, the bigger the difference in the inside and outside track length, Connor. So there's definitely some consideration there. I think we're going to see the line move up throughout the night as drivers get more comfortable pushing the limits there. But the bottom is kind of the default when you don't have anyone else around you. Yeah, I think if you're on your own, you're going to run the bottom of 1 and 2. But if you're trying to pass someone, you really can't get it done down there in 1 and 2. The bumps are too harsh. The driver on your outside can just pitch you down, and it makes it hard for you. Speaking of rubber, look at all the rubber leading into the infield grass. That's all from practice, and we might not be done with that. But yeah, those bumps, if you get pinched down there, you're not making the pass without contact and conflict. You really have to set the pass up in 3 and 4, running the top, and get a run down the front straightaway, and then just hope you can slide up in front of them. We'll see if anyone tries that if we get into a long run mode tonight.
Watching the Area Truck Series here from Iowa, slowing after just a lap and a quarter. Incident in turn 1 with Aiden Roberson and the 2 of Greg Mitchell. Roberson now getting that end-of-line penalty to cycle in behind. Greg Mitchell is on pit lane getting that truck serviced, and it does not look good on that left side. Still in the truck, though, and hopefully he can repair it and get back rolling.
Yeah, not the end of the world. There's no way he's going to be the only one with damage at the end of this one, so he's just got to stick with it, try to get the points that he can, and get whatever he can get repaired. Because there's a lot of damage that left side. He slapped it pretty hard. It didn't look that hard from what we saw, but a lot of damage on the left front quarter, as we should get 1 to green here. Yes, we do.
Lights are off atop the Ford Mustang pace car, and Cameron Hearn elects for the inside lane. A little bit surprised by that, actually. But as we come to the restart here, we'll get our second launch of the night. And this is going to be one of those challenges, Connor, just to get into a rhythm and get into that green flag run. I think if we get there, we're going to go a lot of laps green. But this has one of those kind of formalities of the more you have accidents, the more that you're going to spawn with these restarts here as drivers are aggressive. This is a big field for this racetrack and for these trucks. So there's a lot on the line tonight and a lot of trucks that have to keep it all in line to make it work.
Yeah, well, we saw it last week, right? We got a 40-lap run, but one yellow kind of derailed everything, and we had a string of yellows for 50-some laps until we got the final 30-lap run to the end. That was redeeming for what we saw. We saw that last week. It could very easily happen again.
All right, pace car pulls off, and we're back under green from Iowa Speedway. Good launch by Cameron Hearn. Beckner might grab second place away here from Weishart down in turn 1 and 2 if he plays his cards right.
He's going to really try to force Weishart up, which he does successfully, so put him up to second. A lot of drivers trying to squeeze out of turn number 2. JT Poole hunting for the inside lane under Chris Rabel. He's able to get down there as we're 2 by 2, maybe even 3 wide out of turn number 4 back there. Yeah,
leaders are nose to tail now as everyone starts popping out of line to make passes, and this is what got us into trouble last time. So now into turn 1, we're still 3 wide. That, I think, is the 15 of Ricky Harden that's middle. And he has got his hands full right now.
He's got Anna Sogak on the bottom. He's got Ted Wade on the top, really pinching the 88 off there to just get out of 3 wide, which he does that well. Spin. Jacob Bell's around. That's going to be another caution.
And the yellow flag, there it is.
A little half spin, but no damage.
Have a look. Is he assisted around, or did he get a little bit loose on his own? Has the 8 of Brad Slaughter. Nope, just gets loose on his own.
Ooh, wow, Irvin barely missed him there, but I'm honestly surprised. We've had 2 incidents, and they're both single car. This one didn't even cause damage, but wow, Irvin barely got through that one. James Scioli is already... actually, where is he now? Actually, he's up to 30th, so he's already top 30 after 9 laps.
All right, so second caution of the night, this time a little bit later into the run, but not by a whole lot. And this is what I talk about, getting into the rhythm. Cameron Hearn, though, by nature of getting that lead away, he's going to start ticking away laps led. And this is one of those races, Connor, that might not be tricky to pass because of the conditions, but might be tricky to pass because you're running out of opportunities. David Weishart fakes for pit lane, but too early for anyone to do anything.
Yeah, he faked everyone out. What are you talking about? He was going to bring everyone in.
I mean, if
Justin Sogak is actually, he is going to pit, which is a little surprising from 18th. But if you're back there, I guess try something different. Maybe fuel strategy. Josh Taylor, Paul Irvin come in.
Yeah, the fuel window is 65 to 75 laps here. So maybe just trying to shoot for
a one-stop.
One-stop from here. But I think
tires. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's still going to be tough.
Justin Michael has a lot of right side damage, and I'm not sure where that came from, but he's also really totaled on pit
wow,
lane.
that thing is absolutely destroyed. Let's go back and see while we've got a minute if we can find where that came from.
I think that was on the restart into turn number 1. On lap 7 is where he got that.
So here he is on the restart. And there's, it's right on board with him here.
Behind Bobby Tinch, Carter Coop. It's going to be a stack up, maybe?
Guy right here just gets loose and into the brakes and up into the wall. That's a hard hit.
Yeah, he really slapped it. It's almost like he has a lot of rear brake in it. He slammed on the brakes and just shot around like he has too much rear brake in it.
Well, good news is this track doesn't really require your truck to be all that aerodynamic. We're going to see some trucks towards the end of this thing that are pretty well torn up. But Cameron Hearn leads over Travis Beckner. We've actually got Cameron Hearn on camera tonight, and he's in his virtual reality land. And I love watching drivers drive in virtual reality just because it is. If you showed this to someone 25 years ago, Connor, this would blow their minds that you could do this.
You bet that. Yeah, that's 100% correct. Especially drivers who were in the old NR03 league racing days. I don't think they could ever imagine they'd be possibly seeing drivers race like that, but it is very impressive. The drivers who are able to put up with that. I feel like I'd throw up if I tried one of those, but it's so cool how far sim racing has come and VR has come as well together.
So Cameron Hearn leads the way here as we get to lap number 13 behind the control of the pace car. This is one of those tracks that I always feel has one extra lap of yellow that we probably don't need. I think it was it Charlotte that was a lap shorter? I think it was. Either way. Or no, Charlotte was longer. Daytona's always a lap shorter than I would expect. But while we've got everybody here, we're going to see a lot of SimRap Market replays tonight. Race fans, be sure to visit simrapmarket.com for custom iRacing paint scheme templates that are simple to use and help you stay more focused on the racetrack. A lot of SimRap Market representation here in the field week to week. Good looking field indeed. Lots of bright colors. Good liveries on these trucks.
Including Alan Elwood with SimRap Market on his truck.
Hey, where's Elwood at right now? In the number 10 truck. P17. He is. And there's the one to green.
Here we go. Iowa is one of those tracks that's prolonged, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's under a mile, but definitely not a track that needs it.
No, well, yeah. I mean, I think there are scenarios later in this race where the pit lane will be a little bit busier, but for now, early in the race, definitely feels like a lot. Because there's not really much advantage being taken of the pit lane area, but we're re-racked, restacked before again on the bottom. This time the 28's on the high side, so maybe Weishart can battle back on the bottom. Michael Curhan's up there, Chris Rabel, Eric Wineland, JT Poole, Kasten, Scruggs, and Schillingberg, the rest of your top 10.
Everyone who started top 10 has stayed in the top 10. Little movement here and there, but everyone is pretty much locked into where they started. Not too many big movers, but like we're talking about, we're watching Scioli. He's already up to 25th.
You ever thought about how those yellow tires in the infield look like corn?
No, I haven't, but I'm thinking about it now as we go back green.
Green flag, lap 15, back in the air here at Iowa Speedway. Good launch by the 4 and by the 29, who's looking for that second spot back.
Oh, look how hard those bumps were. It really shot Weishart almost into the side of Beckner. Now he's got Michael Curran on the outside of him trying to take advantage.
Well, the 28 just threw it in there into turn 3, up on the high side. Going to try to carry some speed here and get some overlap. Going to cross over for the lead as they head down the front stretch. Here comes Beckner.
We're going to see that move a lot tonight. That's how you're going to have to pass. Cameron Hearn's just going to give it to him down into turn number 1. Almost if he tried the crossover, but hit the apron. So the 28th of the point with a strong move.
And Eric Wineland looking for somewhere to go right now in the middle of a 3-wide situation for a moment. Everyone behind, still double file, working their way through 3 and 4. And look at the 97 of Philip York. He has got his hands full between the 49 of Ware and the 10 of Alan Elwood.
Whew, that was really close 3-wide action, but they made it work as York drops back a little bit. Danny Ware down to the bottom. He's going under Ricky Harden. A few SimRap Market trucks alongside each other. I think there's all 3 in a line right there. Harden, Ware, and Elwood. Look at the dive to the bottom. Who is that? That's Gary Waterworth. Went way low back there.
On board now with Eric Wineland. He's got JT Poole, who is competing for last night's win at Dover.
Oh, crash!
Oh, that's a big one.
Lane Harrison.
Caution out. And Blaine Harrison in the number 66 was the one that got turned around.
Looked like a big one, but I think it was only those two.
It looked like it was going to get bigger as they were kind of skidding across the track.
I agree. It looked like it was going to be everyone.
There was a 51 who was inside there. Edward Scherer Jr. And then he gets squeezed a little bit, or squeezes, I should say. The 12 and the, let's see what other truck was on the apron there.
They did a great job. Waterworth did a great job. I think 51 thought he'd have room to the middle, but the 66 kept coming down. I think Thompson, Scioli might have gotten damage out of that, but a lot of drivers, once again, great job to not make that bigger than what it probably should have been.
It was Tom Bourne in the 16 that impressed me as he was following Waterworth. Here's his on board.
Behind two Kyle Bushes. It's never the best of signs.
And that's just a scenario of the drivers not understanding that they're 3 wide, or they were just about to get 3 wide, and one was leaving space for it, the other was not. But communication, and we're going to see this tonight. There's just so many trucks, and a lot of these drivers have not raced each other yet this season, so a lot of new faces around as well.
Scioli is going to pit. He did get into a wall, and he has some rear end damage, so... Oh, he missed a stall. Yep, you have the first stall. You did not qualify.
Yeah, that's fairly minor damage, but it's this is what happens when you don't make qualifying and you start in the back, and that was something that the 8 truck really had to worry about. But Brad Slaughter Jr., despite where he started, he's up to 20th place, started 34th, and we have not had that much green flag racing, so he has really looked out with where he's placed his truck so far.
Yeah, he and Scioli had done a good job. Scioli is not able to get away unscathed, but so far, Brad Slaughter Jr. is, so good climb so far into the top 20, but still much more work to do. And he's going to keep climbing up here and there, but if we keep getting yellows like this, he is not going to be able to climb up that much more.
We're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be right back with the continuation of the Area Truck Series here from Iowa Speedway. We'll be right back. Back live from Newton, Iowa. Welcome back to Iowa Speedway and Sim TV. Kyle Heyer joined by Connor Horn tonight as we are now 22 laps into 155 laps here. Short track trucking. 3 yellows on the night so far. A couple of small incidents here. Big field. 43 trucks trying to go 155 laps, Connor. It is going to be tricky to make your way forward and not get yourself involved in an incident.
We've already seen it. We've had numerous incidents, but they've all been minor incidents, only involving 2 trucks at most. But it's only a matter of time before this ticking time bomb explodes and we get some sort of big one. I thought it was going to be there, but everyone got away with that one. But we still got a long way to go. Everyone's just got to be patient here. All 43 trucks still running. Ryan Swan in last. He's 6 laps down with no damage. I think he's had connectivity issues or something like that, but everyone's still running with fairly clean race trucks. Some drivers have damage here and there, but everyone's still running. Up front, we've had a couple of changes for the lead. David Weishart started on pole, lost it pretty quickly to Cameron Hearn. And then on the last restart, Travis Beckner was able to over-under and get the lead away. This will put the 4 in danger of dropping off of the front row where he has been all night long. And Michael Curhan restarts in 4th, Wineland in 5th.
those two trucks have been pretty solid so far tonight as well.
Yeah, those tires do look like corn. I see what you mean now.
Yeah, they look like roasted corn.
Yeah, I get it. I think
Amber
they went
waves
for
of
that.
grain, man. All right, pace cars off. Let's try it again. Lap 24, the Area Truck Series from Iowa. Green flag. Beckner again with a nice strong launch. And he is off and away.
Did you say grain flag? Was that a pun?
Maybe. Maybe that's just the rest of my cold.
Don't be corny, Kyle.
Oh, truck in the wall, the 99. Carter Hayden bounced off it. Got away with it, though.
Oh, yeah, he hit it hard, though. Luckily, no one hits him, but not out of the woods yet. A lot of drivers are trying to sort everything out. We just got to get maybe 5 laps in.
Wow, okay. Ooh, I had a panic. Sorry, that was Bryce Senesac. The bright green truck made a hard left, and it just looked like he was about to go for a ride. In fact, he was doing just fine.
He's got front end damage. There's a stack up somewhere. Some drivers have front end damage, but nothing too severe. As look at everyone trying to run the top. At the very back, especially at this last half of this field, but still a lot of 2x2 going on.
Alan Elwood on the high side of the 42 of Garrett Grant. Just ahead is Ricky Harden and Hank Caston, who's dropped backwards since the launch of the race. And Gary Waterworth, who narrowly avoided that wreck, is now running in 19th place after starting 24th.
Look at all the lines we're seeing in 3 and 4. We got Hank Caston all the way on the top line, while Alan Elwood's just behind him, just trying to wrap the bottom, but everyone's still all over the place trying to get away from one another, I would say.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard even in a longer green flag run to get distance, get space around you. It's going to feel very claustrophobic here tonight. You almost wonder how they packed 43 of them in at Bristol, if they ever did. I know they did in the past. They don't do that anymore, but it just feels like a lot of trucks at a track like this.
Oh yeah, claustrophobic is, I think, a perfect word. You just nowhere to hide here at a small track like this, especially with 40-plus trucks. You're going to have absolutely nowhere to go. Even when we do get on a long green flag run. Oh, I thought there was drivers in the wall.
Yeah, there was. Alan Elwood just scraped it, but got away with
okay.
it.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's okay. But yeah, you just know where to hide with all these trucks. Even when we get a long green flag run, you're going to be around trucks the entire night. So you have to be ready to navigate around everyone.
Brad Slaughter said he was zooming. Here he is, up to 15th place. What a climb he has had. Didn't waste a lot of time. Knew he messed up in qualifying by not getting a good starting position, but he's almost undone that mistake before we're even at the 1/4 mark of this race.
Look at how hard he's racing to get here. Oh, yellow. Oh, we got trucks flipping in 3 and 4. Who was that? Big crash.
One of them is Carter Hayden, the 99. The other, Bobby Tinch in the 54. Lane Harrison again turned around. 4th caution of the night?
I think Scioli was in that big time this time. Yeah, that's 4. That equals our mark from Monday night, yesterday. See what happened. Sim market replay.
Yeah, just not a hole there.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, the 66 is the one that ended up on his lid.
Yeah, Scioli did get a big piece of that, but not as big as the 66 Blaine Harrison. That was a big old flip. So we'll see on board Scioli just ran out of room.
Yeah, and you can see it's a lunge for the 99. It wasn't like they went in there with him having overlap. He kind of lunged into the corner last minute.
Yeah,
right there, he lunges, and that's what tags the 54 around.
Yeah, not only, wow, that just slapped the 66 out, but yeah, it's not like you said, it's not like he was there. He kind of just went in there. Not only did he hit the 54, he completely missed the bottom in doing it, so that'll be an EOL. As I think Kaneda got through it actually, but that's an unfortunate wreck that happened at the back of the field, and it takes out a few potential top 10 contenders at least, especially one in Scioli.
Yeah, that's just one of those things that you get with a big field like this, Connor, is drivers are trying to move their way forward, but just they're too aggressive too early, and I think they need to let the race come to them versus trying to force it. It's not going to end well for anybody, but trucks on pit lane. It is a busier place now. Alan Elwood's down there, as are several others, Connor.
And Travis Beckner came in. Before, Hearn was actually looking like he was going to come in. Beckner came in, then Cameron Hearn and Weishart hooked a dead right to avoid pit lane. So did Michael Curhan and a number of others. So Beckner's kind of left a little bit on an island. The only driver in the top 10 to come in was Eric Wineland. It's a tough tough deal it's a tough call to pit at this point too, because we got a little bit of a run there, but still not enough to really warrant coming in. But if we do get a green flag run, I think Beckner will have an easier time making a one-stop work than Cameron Hearn.
So, interesting how things have cycled out here. Beckner back in 27th. But again, maybe just setting himself up for later in this race, making decisions now that will pan out for him later. And 4 trucks out of the race right now: Harrison, Tinch, Hayden, and Swan. Ryan Swan actually not out, he's just in his pit stall.
Yeah, he's having issues. I don't know if it's hardware or internet, but he's 5 laps down. Hey, he just got the lucky dog, but I think he's having other issues outside the race. But Carter Hayden is out. He's retired. Bobby Tinch is still on pit road, but he'll go multiple laps down. And Blaine Harrison, also out of his truck, he went up and over. He's probably in the virtual care center.
Yeah,
as Scioli's going to limp around.
I don't predict that 66 truck going very far after the ride that he took.
So you get 2 laps to green here. I always wondered why Iowa was such long, much more paced laps. I don't know if there's a reason for it, but it's even. I think it's even a lap longer than other tracks its size, like Richmond, for example. Never understood that.
Yeah, I remember Richmond being pretty quick, but I think it might have been when they made the track, or maybe Richmond got a revamp or something. But yeah, I remember them kind of going back through them and changing some caution lap counts, and maybe a couple of them got missed.
Yeah, I've always, all the, 8 years I've been on iRacing, I've always noticed Iowa's just a little bit longer, and I've never understood it.
A little bit longer of a racetrack. Maybe they just felt like adding a little more.
Could be a possibility. Maybe they're having issues with people catching up.
Yeah, it could be. Let's turn the lights off on the pace car, though, and let's go one more time around. This time should be the one to green, and it is. Michael Curhan slowly cycling to the front here. So just to reset things, there are 22 trucks that have not yet come to pit lane. The other 22 have come to pit lane at various times. It is expected to be a one-stop race for those that have already made a pit stop. And for those that have not, they will likely have to come down 2 more times.
They should, yes. I don't imagine it, even with the yellows, I don't think they'd be able to make it on only one more stop, but yeah, we'll definitely see.
I don't think that'll be possible, but who knows? I mean, you keep getting this. If you're smart about it, keep shutting the engine off and coasting. You're thinking that far ahead. I haven't heard a lot of motors shutting off, but I don't think you need to. There's just so many opportunities to pit tonight. The big challenge with a race like this is finding the same opportunity as everyone else. Everyone's got different ideas of when to come down when you got 15 cautions in a row. Hopefully less from here on out. Green flag back in the air, lap 36. Cameron Hearn leads the field. Oh, big block there from Garrett Grant.
Yeah, that's not going to help the green flag lap count if we block like that, but they get away with it. And they didn't stack up too much. Grant keeps that spot from Waterworth in the 12 Silverado. And how long we go 2x2 here. All clear at the front. Hearn with a very comfortable lead. Weishart gets the second. Curhan looking trapped on the bottom this run.
Oh, there's the 09 bouncing off of somebody. They keep it straight for now. Carter Coops on the bottom.
There they go. Shears around. Senesac's around. They both saved it. Unbelievable.
That was excellent driving there to keep it all straight. And they're going to come out the other side. We're 4 wide back here as we sort it. Alan Elwood tiptoeing through.
I don't know about sorting, but they're trying their best, that's for sure. Oh. Wow, how did they save that?
Those 2 trucks did an excellent job. And Tom Bourne trying to harass the number 96 of Logan Hartman, who's up to 15th place after starting 35th. He's also crept into the mix very quietly. Oh. Almost did the commentator curse there as the 93 of Joseph R. Jones goes to the bottom.
Yeah, they both kind of went for the same line, Hartman and Jones, but slight contact. They should be able to continue just fine, but definitely I think their heart's in their throat after a scary moment like that at top speed, as getting a little bit more spread out. That's the one good thing about those half spins. It spread things out just a little bit, but still very packed tight at the back. Looking at Travis Beckner, Brad Slaughter Jr., they're trying to fight their way 3 wide through the middle to get by some of these guys. Look at Brad Slaughter Jr. go. Wow.
And Bronson Stafford in the 61. That's that red and white and blue truck on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to carve his way through it or avoid being carved up, because here comes Beckner on a mission. Led some laps early, then decided to hit pit lane, get off strategy, and try something different.
And see if it works. This is a decent run, but let's not hold our breath quite yet. We are single file through the top 9. Then the battle for 10th is Eric Grant and Dean Thompson. They're side by side, both with somewhat battered trucks, but still very fast. As Garrett Grant really soft in the turn 1, he'll lose that spot.
Yeah, the 61 got loose out of 4 big time. He held on to it. Comes Grant to the bottom. Ted Wade in the 32.
Grant's really slow on entry. Ooh, crossover.
Busy up front right now. Lots of action going on. Just got to find it all. There's a good group of trucks. Three wide again with the 8 of Slaughter in the middle of it.
He is wasting no time getting through, running out of room into the wall.
Everybody scatters. 3 wide. Beckner in the middle now.
Just ran out of room for 3 wide, but once again, at least we keep it straight. That was Beckner was right in the middle of that and somehow got through unscathed.
Justin Munsell trying to carve his way through. He started dead last and now is back up to 19th. He has not pit yet, but working pretty hard to keep the fenders on the truck.
I think everyone's working hard. Look at all this going on. 3 wide in the back. That was Eric Wineland. He thinks better of it, but this is a scramble for 26th place with Justin Michael and Edward Shearer.
Yeah, this is a pretty messy one. And Eric is also working pretty hard right now to get through without getting scattered. Right on the bottom of the 51. Man. This is very, very tight.
Oh, they're almost looking 4 wide with Shane Therian. We haven't talked about him yet tonight at all. He started 33rd. He has not climbed really anywhere. Just try and find some clean air somewhere on this track.
All the while, no changes up front. Cameron Hearn leads by half a second. It is a hornet's nest back here in the field. 3 wide again. Elwood on the top side. In the Simrat Market Chevrolet.
Yeah, that's the real top side. It's way up there. That was that Roberson?
Yeah, it was.
Yep. They're scaring me.
They are. They're doing a good job hanging on to it now, though. And the longer this goes, the better that's going to get.
I think for sure you're right on that. Therian gets around on the outside. No, we're still 3 wide. Therian's looking 4. Let's not do that, but he's going to go up there anyway.
That's going to spook the 96, and that was good call there by Therian to back out, because I don't think Hartman was going to see that. And
he just hit Danny Ware and right into turn 1.
Yeah, there's a concept that got explained to me by Aaron Lichty in the Grid Life Touring Cup Series is we're 4 wide.
4 wide.
Oh boy. Is that when you're a third man in there's 2 guys racing and you're the third man in the mix, they don't see you there because they're focused on each other. And that's that danger triangle. So certainly you don't want to be that third or fourth man in any scenario.
No, yeah, I think you're completely right on that. That just was not going to work, and Therian was smart about it and made sure he didn't cause anything that wasn't supposed to happen, so good on that. They're still trying to sort it out. I'm not going to call this sorted out until we get much further into this run, but it's at least looking a little bit more smooth right now as Therian's starting to make his way up. He was 30th. He's now up to 23rd.
And Justin Munsell again working over Hank Cassidy in the 36. And now finally we're seeing more single file, which is going to be hopefully good news for us. As the laps take off so quickly here also that when you're under green flag, I mean, again, we have 42 minutes left in this race if we go green from here. That's how quick things go. But when they really get slowed down at 55 miles an hour. Here's Brad Slaughter back up into the top 10. Brad Slaughter Jr., an epic climb again.
Yeah, really amazing stuff so far. I'm also looking at him climbing through the field, and look who's right behind him, Travis Beckner. He restarted 27th, and he's following Brad Slaughter Jr. up through this field.
Dean Thompson working his way on the outside of Beckner now is behind. They're getting a little scrambly again, the 61 and the 49. They're door-to-door. And for 6th place, Curhan and Schillingberg.
These two, we've been single file in the top 10 for a while, but those guys on new tires are coming. Schillenberg to the bottom of Curran. but Dustin Scruggs is going to shove the 24 into 1, maybe help him out a little bit. But behind those guys on fresh tires, Slaughter and Beckner are coming.
And I didn't know how much the tires were going to matter.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd really fly like this, but there's clearly a difference.
And then some of these guys were already making their way forward pretty well with, just on pace in general, but I think there is an advantage even with the short number of laps that they had on the tires to start with.
Oh, caution.
And it's Logan Hartman in the 96, I think.
I don't think so.
No? I didn't see
did
anyone
not
else
see.
stopped.
I didn't see anything either. I'm trying to find it myself.
Let us see. At 53.
Oh, I think we had a spin. Ryan Swan, I think, had a spin. Front straightaway. It was not for Hartman. This does get us slowed down again after we had a pretty wild run.
Oh, here it is. Yep.
Ooh, is that Shearer again? I think it was. But
Yeah, it
once
was
again,
the
a small incident.
Yeah, another, 2-3 truck incident. And here's the one way up top. The 51 tracks up, and just drives into the side of him.
I think he expected Swan to be a groove higher. It was not for position either. I think Swan still laps down. Shearer's on the lead lap. But this is going to bring the leaders in. Hearn brings everyone down pit road.
Oh, boy. All right, so pit lane will be a busy place. Here they all come at lap number 54. Now, this is 100 laps to go. The top of the fuel window is 75, throw in a whole bunch of yellow flag laps. I think there's a world in which you could see this going to the end, huh?
I could see it happening for sure. We got a taste of what green flag running, what happens, and what happened there was Cameron Hearn got a pretty good gap, but we're going to see a few differing strategies here. We got some drivers who are going to try to stretch it to the end, some drivers who are anticipating yellows, like maybe Eric Weiland, who I believe stayed out. So we're going to have some differing strategies here as Cameron Hearn's going to lead the way off pit road just in front of David Weishart. Maybe not. JT Poole might have gotten second. No, Weishart gets by. But going to see a few differing strategies because we did have drivers stay out here.
Ed Wade is the other that stayed out in the 32. The only driver now not to have pit. If he changes that this time through, and I think he will. He's trying to lead a lap. Well, he did not do it.
I don't think he's going to either.
Oh, well, Eric Wineland's going to pick up this lap lead.
It's going to leave two others. Anna Sogak and Ricky Harden also stayed out, but they'll be the only three.
And they're all on Wineland's strategy. They all pit 25 laps or so, go lap 30. And I like this play that Wineland has done here, provided that he sticks to it, because there's not a huge difference in what he is doing versus what Cameron is doing from a longevity perspective. They're both probably going to pit again, let's be honest. But now Eric Wineland has track position. We did see that tires did matter, and there was a little bit of a green flag run there, so we'll see how that factors in. But I don't know. I don't think Wineland's going to drop as far back as he was prior.
I would not imagine so. He was up to about, well, he was actually around the 24th position when the yellow came out, so it'd be a lot for him to drop all the way that far back. So considering the two that are behind him are in the same strategy, they were definitely even further back, so I don't really blame them for making this call. This is a track position race, even if it goes green. So I agree with this. From where they were, they kind of have to try this.
So we'll get 2 to green this time by, 1 to green next. Update on those that are out. James Scioli just peeled down pit lane. He's been on pit road for 2.5 minutes. Logan Hartman is out. Ryan Swan is rolling, but down in 40th. Blaine Harrison in the 66, despite that truck having been upside down, is back on track. Bobby Tinch is out. Carter Hayden is out.
The guy, isn't that something? The guy who goes flipping gets to stay in the race. 14 laps down, but got to get the points. Never know what you can get. We saw, I think it was actually Ryan Swan last week who was what? I think it was in the Xfinity series.
Oh, sorry, Connor, did the Brad Slaughter Jr. truck, did he get a pit road speeding penalty?
Ooh, he must have.
35th.
Yeah, he must have had a penalty. Yeah, he let the field by, so that is, that's good. That's going to make a already hard race even more difficult.
He said in the chat that he was zooming, and then just now he said too much zoom. So.
I would agree.
So he'll have to do it. Well, good news is he's been able to do it a handful of times and keep the fenders on the truck, so he'll get tasked with that again as the lights are on here now and the sun is down. So we are entering our night portion of this race with under 100 laps to go. And before we get this restart, fans, be sure to check out rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. Try the Loxahatchee Classic, Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, or South Beach Heat. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle in the Area Cup Series and see which driver will take home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the point standings. I got to try that Palm Beach Pineapple. That sounds excellent.
That's definitely. Is that controversial or is that only for pizza?
No, I think that's perfectly fine for hot sauce.
It's a tropical sauce as we go back green here.
And mango salsas too, man. All right, anyway, green flag. Back in the air, and Wineland takes off down into turn 1.
Turn already on the top. He's going to get by. Oh, spin. That's Rabel around. Look out, everyone else.
Oh, he's going to get hit.
Oh, man. That was Josh Taylor.
57.
Oh, man. Hard hit.
And we're back under yellow again.
I think Slaughter got some right rear damage out of that, but nowhere near the extent what these two trucks got. See, Mason Kane gets on the right rear, but he just goes around on his own. Ooh, wow, Vector did a good job getting through, but right here, wow. It looks like just turned down thinking there was a wreck in front of him, maybe.
Yeah, he couldn't see it right here. It's blocked out of his view, and then bam!
Oh, yeah, that's such just bad timing. There's nothing you can do at that point.
Yep, and then holy cow, that was a big hit there for the 57.
And there was contact with Slaughter Jr. and maybe Greg Mitchell, one of the Physicus Motorsports trucks. There was stacking up, but didn't cause too much damage to Brad Slaughter Jr., but that's what happens when you speed. You can't avoid everything.
Yeah, and here's that stack up you're referencing right there. Gets tagged.
That was Greg Mitchell in the Canada.
And then into Brad Slaughter Jr. after that. And back under yellow again. Is this number 6?
Yes.
Win count.
We're just keeping a tally on our wall here. That all went, and maybe this. I think we blame this on the pineapple reference if we start going downhill here.
Yeah, I think I blame the extra frustration on the extra caution laps that make these extra grueling here in particular. Yeah, I think we will step away once more, though. We'll be back for the restart here in just a moment's time. Stick with us. Back in Newton, Iowa in the Area Truck Series at the Iowa 155. We are 62 into our 155 tonight. Welcome back. I'm Kyle Heyer, joined by Connor Horn. 6 yellows on the night, 62 laps completed. And one good green flag run in there, Connor, but otherwise been marred by a handful of small incidents here and there. Most recently, a big one with the 57 and 33 getting together on the backstretch. After the 33 spun, the 57 went for a wild ride, ramping up the nose, and those trucks are pretty badly damaged.
57's completely totaled. He'll be out of this race tonight. Josh Taylor, unfortunate for him, is trying to turn it around. Not going to be able to turn it around tonight. Same for Chris Rabel, who's already missed one race this year. He made it on speed tonight, but just spun, and field could not miss him, as he'll be another driver out of this race. That'll push our count to about 4 or 5 trucks out of this one now.
Yep, Rabel, Taylor, Hartman, and Hayden are the ones that are definitely out for the count right now. And the first two in that list, Rabel and Taylor, the most recent from that situation. All right, there's the one to green. We'll re-rack him, restack him, and go again. And Travis Beckner, by the way, remember he pitted. He is back up to 10th place in that number 28 truck. And everybody now has made a pit stop at some point. It's going to make the strategy interesting to follow, but we do know lap 65 to 75 is your window. And from here on out, Connor, we're not that far from getting to that window. So I expect to see, if we get a caution lap 85, 95, probably see a lot of drivers hit pit lane.
I think even around 75, I think we will see some drivers peel off and just make sure they're good to the end. Definitely would expect if we get a caution in like the next 10 laps to see Wineland and Asobak hard down. They have not pit as recently as everyone else, so they will need the fuel more than anyone.
All right, Pace's car going to make the hard left one more time. And truck's coming back to the green flag. Lap 65 of 155. Here we go, back underway.
Good jump for Anasogak, but you can see the tires on the 4 are going to come into play here. Also, those bumps are going to hurt the 88. Cameron Hearns looking to get the lead right back.
Ooh, big sweep back there from the 10. Alan Elwood trying to make big moves here. But Wineland's got the lead, Hearn to second, and Anasogak losing some spots in the 31 spins. Mason Kane across the road. Can he hang on to it? Looks like he might, but there's going to be a crash behind him. Mason, oh, no, he kept it. No, there's the yellow.
Yellow came out, but once again, a small incident that could have been worse.
Was that all that was?
Yeah, that was all that was. I'm shocked too. That was Mason Kane and Dustin Scruggs. That was it. But we get away with it again, at least. Huh. Still, every wreck has been technically 2 trucks or less.
Yeah, it was Mason Kane that triggered it. I just looked at the ATVO log list.
He's getting his spots back. I can't believe that was all that was. It just got loose and nowhere for Scruggs to go. Wow, Beckner barely avoided that.
Yeah. Wasn't even all the way sideways either. Got it figured out, but now we're back under caution for time number 7.
We are close to doubling our count from Monday night. Granted, that was more fun because I was at the front.
Yeah. Well, that race was probably a little bit less action-packed than normal, just because of the way the package was in the Cup Series. But it did have a nice flow to it. It was good to get through a nice race, especially without any green-white checkered or any shenanigans there, Connor. Sometimes it's nice just to get a natural ending to a race, and that was a fun one. And Dover's just kind of fun to watch because it's a pretty dynamic scenario. You know,
it's high speed as well.
Yeah, you get cars launching off the corners because the way the banking kind of crests, and then you fall into the corners.
It's such a unique track, and it would have been interesting to see what these trucks could have done here. Maybe next season we'll bring them to the high banks of the Monster Mile, but not this year. This first standalone event for, I guess, like technically there's a lower series, but there really is no lower series in area. But the Truck and Pro Series get their own date, independent date at Iowa this week. Not the last one of the season either. As Lucky Dog coming around, that is Kaneda getting it there. Scioli got it last time around. He's not on the lead lap. He's 2 down.
I don't recall what put Charles laps down. I see some damage on the truck, but I don't know exactly what incidents he was involved in.
Eric Wineland's upset. Ricky Springer left the session. I think that was who he was spotting Eric Wineland, and Eric Wineland's mad because everyone made his spotter quit with these yellows.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, not a lot of fun for anybody to pace around all night.
No, especially when you're at the front. You want to get the racing, like Cameron Hearn, Weishart, all these guys want to get the racing. They're not getting the opportunity to.
Yeah, for as brutal as it is for us up here, the drivers also have to pace around all night when they take their night off to have a little fun. And you know what's hard about it is you can't finger point at any one person. It's just collectively the hive mind of go, 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 and not backing it down, especially on a couple laps after a restart. You're not really willing to lift. The tires aren't quite up to temperature yet. It's just hard to get into the groove like we did in that earlier run.
Especially at a track like this. You know, Iowa's such a small track, but you have so many lanes. So you get a small track plus 2 to 3 lanes you can use, and that's almost always going to end in disaster, or at least a few yellows. And we're seeing that happen tonight for sure. And it hasn't even been just at the back of the field. We've seen Chris Rabel spin from the top 5, top 10. We just saw it with the 31 of Mason Kane in the top 15. There's incidents happening everywhere. That's because there's hard racing everywhere on track at a low track, like at a small track like this. So it's just a product of this type of racing. Lee Harrison speeding to try to get out in front of the pace car. I don't think it worked. I've never seen that. Oh, it did work.
Well, let's go back and watch the cars moment here.
Lightning McQueen should have gotten the penalty. Changed my mind.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, he definitely got like 50. It's not pace speed. Oh, he's getting sent to the back now. They didn't make it.
Oh, man.
This is an alternate ending. He doesn't win the championship.
Yeah, gets an EOL, and the movie just ends there.
That's where it ends, yeah. No pits. The pit stop wasn't good enough, I guess.
So we are at lap 70 of 155. So halfway in this race is lap, what are we looking at?
Lap 77-ish, 77 and a half. Down the back stretch on lap 77.
Let's see if we can get there. Lights are out again, and re-racked and restacked again.
It's 2 weeks in a row. We've made a Cars reference one way or another.
And Cars was my childhood. I used to watch the Cars movie, but just like the first 10 minutes and like the last 15 minutes with just the race sequences, because they were so well done. I wish there was just a whole movie of that. And then Cars 3 ended up kind of being that. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's one of the best entrances to any racing movie. Just
oh my God. I mean,
so
Sheryl Crow just jamming. Oh, it was.
I know. Yup.
That song.
Can't get better.
It can't. It can't. That was peak Pixar. I don't care what anyone says. All right.
Can't change my mind on that.
Can't change mine either. All right, Eric Wineland, spotterless out front. Here we go.
You keep him in the rearview mirror, he won't need a spotter. Had someone get chopped back there. I think Thompson took a look under Munsell, I think.
Side by side for the lead. Cameron Hearn around the outside.
Don't think this will be too much of a battle, but it will be if David Weishart gets up there. Look at how he charged in the center of the corner. Hearn back to the front. 3 wide for 4th place. Oh, the big crash. This is going to take out a lot.
Oh, boy. Into turn 1, and that's going to be junk.
Oh, more wrecking in the back. They're still crashing. My goodness. My goodness.
Well, here it is, folks.
Was that in Cars? I don't think so. Actually, no,
it was. It was in Cars.
No one jumped over.
Decidedly.
No one jumped over anyone this one.
But who was the focus on this? The 15?
Ricky Harden, I think, came together with JT Poole, maybe?
Trying to find him on the timing screen to even grab him.
Oh, was that Brad Slaughter on the apron? I think he got some of the worst of that.
Oh, that truck is junked.
He's done. Wow, that is such a shame. That's what can happen if you get a pit penalty. He might have gotten the worst of that somehow.
I'm still trying to find the 15 on the timing screen. Where is he? Position-wise. Oh, all the way back up in 7th somehow.
It started with him out of turn down the front straightaway, really. It almost looked like, I think it looked like Beckner was getting to his outside late, and then he tried to turn down to give him room, and JT Poole was here. We'll see right here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right there. I think you're right.
Yeah. And then it's a track blocker. Worst part of the track to have a crash into turn 1. When that wall juts out for pit exit, that wall juts out, it just completely closed the track up. There was a wreck out of turn 4 there. Who was that?
Yeah, we'll go back and look at it in a second. There's the 8 trying to slow down, but he just could not. Then you saw the accident behind, and that was the 99 up on his roof, almost.
What? In the world, that was completely separate. Carter, that was Roberson who got piled into by Edward Shear. There's Greg Mitchell, Waterworth in it. I think there might have been another Fazekas truck up there.
Where'd the 99 go? I mean, again, I see these people in these crashes. Was that him? No, it could not have been. It was Mason Kane, probably.
Out of turn 4?
Yeah, it was a red truck. It was Kane.
What in the world? This was completely separate as well.
We
Ooh,
would
Greg
have,
Mitchell.
yeah, we would have had a caution either way.
That actually might not have brought a caution. That happened in cars. Maybe.
It did. It was intentional in cars.
Happened at Martinsville, too, last fall. Did you hear about that one?
No.
Good old Hail Melon.
Oh, yes. That's what you're talking about.
It's as close as you'll get to it in real life. Well, we are almost to halfway.
Almost.
Not the way we wanted to get the halfway, but Cameron Hearn leads. Weishart second. Wineland in third. Harden and Anasogak, who were on that strategy Eric Wineland was on, they just got taken out in that. So Wineland's on an island here, but he does still set third. And that's another one Travis Beckner barely skated by, and that puts him up to fourth.
Well, made a point that Lightning McQueen really did deserve an EOL in that last race, but there was only 3 cars in it.
Not wrong, but
So,
what difference would have made?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they
And
were
wasn't he
able
on
to
the
get
end of the
by
lead
that.
lap anyway? So it wouldn't have made any difference.
Yeah, you're right.
He would have
But
been
if
a
the
lap
EOL
down, but then he
well,
would have
if
gotten
they-
the free pass.
What if they pulled it like a Kyle Busch?
No, he
Then he would have flipped off the cars official, and it would not have been a good situation. You can't put that in a kids' movie.
Freedom
Kyle-
of speech.
Going against the rights of the Constitution.
And there are some really good Kyle Busch quotes. I found a old Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch quote video the other day, and it was I forgot about a lot of them, and it was entertaining. Kurt in particular.
Oh, peak Kurt Busch rage.
He would
was
just straight up
something.
fight Roger Penske on the radio.
Yeah,
I thought that was incredible.
It's amazing. It's amazing how he lasted that long at that team.
I mean, I thought if you just questioned RP, you're out.
Thought so, but I guess not.
All right. Well, should be coming to 2 to green this time through. Theory. Lights still on.
And we do get the halfway officially this time.
Oh, that is 1 to green. Nice.
Yay. See, this wreck definitely took a lot of people out. So
Yeah, and
basically
actually,
game-
that could be a silver lining because the less trucks you have, the less there are to create accidents.
Yeah.
So it's almost better to have the bigger wrecks earlier just to clear everybody out, and then it thins out a little easier.
We shall see if that's the case. Mason Kane's going to be on pit road for a while after doing a Hail Melon, just minus the melon. Skyler's still 2 down. He wasn't in that last crash. Ricky Harden is still on track, but a lap down. Brad Slaughter Jr. is likely done. It might not have taken out as many drivers as I thought, but Slaughter Jr. Mason Kane definitely got the worst of that one.
All right, so let's try this again. I lost count what yellow run. Doesn't matter at this point. Pace car is going to pull off. We're going to try this again at lap number 79. We're just past the halfway point here in the Area Truck Series from Iowa Speedway on SimTV. Green flag back in the air. Here we go again.
Hearn with the lead. We'll see what Weiland can do. Still not on good tires. Weishart will easily clear for second. Beckner climbing back through. He'll get the third. Big swerve from Philip York to go under Michael Curhan.
3 wide again into turn 3. There's JT Poole back there trying to fight his way back forward. As you mentioned, the Philip York and Curhan battle. Hearn leads the way. Weishart trying to creep back into the mix. So is Beckner, who led some laps earlier in this race. It's been a while since he's been up front.
I think it's going to be down to these 3. Even if we don't go green, I think these 3 have been the best of the field so far tonight. Hearn, Weishart, Beckner. As you can see, they're well ahead of everyone else as Weiland tries to fend off Philip York. Good run for the 97
Whoa,
so
crossover
far
there
tonight.
from Paul Irvin. Top to bottom elevator move, and he's going to dive up underneath Hank Caston here in 1.
Ooh, almost got in the Caston there, but he's able to stay off him. Yellow at the very back. I think, is that Dean Thompson? No, Charles Canita went around. Slows the progress again. Sembrack Market replay. Wow, really sideways. Someone got out of 4.
Sam
Sembrack Market replay.
Kyle Busch trucks here, and just gets cleared out there by the 93.
Yeah, he got Kyle Bushed. Wow. Well, he got young Kyle Busch.
Yeah, shades of Richmond 08 right there. Joseph Jones. And
He turns him. No.
I mean, you could argue here that the 43 is coming down the racetrack, but the 93. I don't know. It's tough.
He's
not turning in.
He's likely focused on Ted Wade, is my guess. He's focusing on going to the outside of a 32, but didn't want to pinch him hard, and that resulted in him not focusing on the 43 of Kaneda and just going right up into him. But got to be more aware of that. That's at least the 8th or 9th yellow as the leaders fake on the pit road.
Yeah.
Definitely no reason to actually pit.
No, sir. I think we'll take a break. Be back in a moment. It's been a yellow-filled night here at Iowa Speedway for round 3 of the Area Truck Series from Newton, Iowa. Next week, we head to Watkins Glen International. No cautions next week, Connor, because we're on a road course. And if you're asking whether I prefer road courses or ovals, the answer is always the latter. Nope, always the former because of the no yellows, and it's just racing from flag to flag. Honestly, tends to put on some of the best racing also because no one's figured it out yet. And any issues, they just slide into the gravel trap. So that's I'm looking forward to that next week. But we've got more of this Iowa Thursday with the Area Pro Series. And then next week, we're all headed to Watkins Glen. I'm headed there in real life tomorrow for the Grid Life at the Glen Festival this weekend. Grid Life Touring Cup, NOS Energy Track Battle, Time Attack, and Drift for the first time ever on the full course at Watkins Glen. It's going to be a blast. You can watch live stream grid.life/live or on twitch.tv/gridlifeofficial or youtube.com/gridlife.
I'll be honest, he had me at no yellows.
Yeah.
When he's talking about next week. But he's talking about road courses, not just any road course. Watkins Glen, very racy road course. While it is high speed, you have so many good passing zones, a lot of opportunity for nonstop action in every series. Truck, Xfinity, and Cup should be really, really fun.
It is a blast. It's one of the best racetracks in the country. They call it the super speedway of road courses. They've been racing there since 1948 in some form or another. Cameron Argentsinger organized the first street races on Watkins Glen. They ran that course until 1952, moved to a semi-permanent one 1953 until 1955 when they decided the drivers didn't like that one. They built a new one, and it is now Watkins Glen International. Time to go racing, and green flag is back in the air. Cameron Hearn leads them down. Here we go.
Oh, Wineland missed a shift. Everyone's trying to scramble to pass him. That was really close, but we're going to turn one cleanly regardless of it. That's going to drop him down the order, and he's on the tires. They're going to be 3 wide. Not a lot of room for that, but Dean Thompson makes it work.
Getting pretty pinched in the background there into turn 3. Wineland gets shot up the track there by the 3 of Swerve Irvin, and Travis Beckner battling Weishart for second.
Ooh, half spin out of 4, but they save it. Wineland's shifter actually came disconnected. I can't imagine how scary that was, but battle for second. Beckner off the bumps has to give way.
I think the shifter popped off for the whole unit came with it. That'd be unfortunate.
They just said it broke, but it seems like he's at speed now, so it seems like he's able to pop it in and get it to 4th one way or another. As we're clean in the top 3, top 5 or so, clear the way and get away from everyone as Therian dives 3 wide under Wineland and Dean Thompson. Really tight stuff. That was Munsell, not Thompson, excuse me.
Yeah, sorted out in the top 10 or so, and there's still lots of battling behind. 83, ooh, JT turns in pretty early there to try to get down in front of the 83, and he did it.
Still trying to comfort. Yeah, still trying to recover from the incident with Harden into turn number 1. He definitely got very fortunate to not have more damage than what he has. And back up to 13th after all that, but getting hounded by Therian. Wow, a lot of scrambling down to back Strodo behind Bryce Senesac. They're 3 by 3, like we're back at Daytona 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's just very, very tense back here. Everyone trying to find room to race. Still 3 wide. Once they single it out, it'll go pretty quick, but they got to get it sorted and singled. The 12 trying to shoot the gap there. Gary Waterworth, and he does.
And the second Kyle Busch throwback, the Matt Livery sponsored one. We were on my cars yesterday, all 3 of them. So thankful for his support, and Waterworth trying to give him a good run as well, trying to get to the top 20 right now as Aiden Robertson blinks and he passes him easily.
Whoa, I thought I saw some loose trucks back there again in that second group. It's still the group to watch, I think.
Oh yeah, these are the last ones to sort it out. Danny Ware's 100th start. Still got an okay truck, not fully clean, but he's still driving for sure. Oh, not gonna, if he gets sideways like that, he won't be able to, but they're still battling 3 wide back there with Jones, Goddard, Greg Mitchell in that fight as well.
Alan Elwood working his way up into the top 10, trying to get by Dean Thompson. And Alan Elwood has had quite the night tonight. Started 19th, fell all the way as far as 38th with an early pit stop, and is now back up to the highest he's been all night.
Yeah, and wow, look at the damage on that 5 truck. He's going to try to get by here. That might have been on the restart as well, but Elwood, good climb up through the order. And even with that damage, oh, spin, Munsell's around out of turn 2. This will bring out another yellow.
He's going to get hit right here.
Oh, yeah. Bah! Big hit. That was Greg Mitchell, Ryan Swan, Joseph Jones. And that was well after the crash.
Yep, Justin Munsell get absolutely clobbered there. That'll be night over. He gets some help.
Yes, he did.
Oh, Swerve Irvin tagged him out of 2. And he did a good job locking the brakes here. Not much more he could have done. And then right there,
Greg Mitchell just flew in on was still on the top and came down and hit 2 more trucks. He's on the top and just flies into the Munsell and takes out 2 more trucks. Edward Shear did a good job avoiding that second incident. You can see the truck from that angle.
Yeah,
just didn't slow down.
Didn't lift until it was far too late. The one of Ryan Swan, that'll finish that truck off as well. He's just an innocent bystander there. The 93 is as well. Well, more trucks on pit lane.
And I think this is to guarantee you to the end on fuel. No,
Yep.
no reason risking it at this point. As Hearn comes in from the lead, this is a big race off pit road too. I think getting out in the lead is going to be pretty important in winning this race.
And the 29's got that first pit box, which is pretty handy to get out.
Some drivers staying out, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, that's close. I think the 4 got the 29 though.
I think so. And Weishart got out in front of Beckner. Then it's kind of scrambled behind him. Hank, Curhan, Elwood, a number of those guys just all over each other.
So back under yellow again, and this time we're going to have just over 50 laps to go at the restart. AT Pool leads Bronson Stafford, Danny Ware, Carter Coop, Ricky Harden. So basically, the top 8 did not pit, and Cameron Hearn will restart this race in 9th place unless someone else ahead of him comes to pit lane before.
JT Poole was in the big one, what I would call a big one in turn 1, but that means he pit not too long ago. That was about, I would say, lap 83 or lap 84 that he came down to pit lane. Actually, excuse me, I think it was around halfway, lap 75 he came down, so he should be pretty close on fuel. I won't say good, but with the yellows we've been getting, he could be good to the end. But we've seen the tires wear out a decent bit, even for the lack of green flag running we've had. So a number of drivers are going to try to stay up there with those somewhat lower tires. Includes Bronson Stafford. He started 38th. This puts him all the way up to 2nd. So that'll be a big jump for him regardless. Danny Ware's 100th start. He's 3rd. Could be a big one if he can hold it up there. Someone pitting this time down. It's Bobby Tinch, who's damaged, so he won't be a part of this. Carter Cooper, Ricky Harden back up there as well.
We 2 to green this time by. Means that next time we'll get our 1 to green and get a restart coming to lap 100. Rolling up onto the backstretch now, and Eric Wineland is going to restart 22nd. Hopefully he got whatever was loose tightened back down. Big scare there on the restart, but he seems like he's got it sorted now.
I'm surprised we didn't have the wreck there. We were very, very close. I think that's where Dean Thompson got his severe front end damage, but that could have been so much worse than even what we saw the previous yellow into turn number 1. But everyone did a really, really good job. Credit to everyone there, at least, able to avoid the 21. And really, 21 got away with it relatively unscathed as well. He has some rear end damage, but that's nothing compared to what we've seen so far tonight. There's going to be a big restart as well for Hearn and Weishart. Pretty much the furthest back they've been all night long. Beckner's used to this, but a lot of those guys back there they've been at the front all night, so they're gonna have to adjust to having to pass a few guys here and just trying to avoid the chaos that they haven't been a part of.
So lights are off and we're double back up again. I love the livery on Bronson Stafford's truck, by the way.
It is sweet.
It is a good looking truck. Got area shop. Well, disappeared for the Florida State Builders logo, but it is up there in the corner. Talk about area shop here in a little bit. As we're double back up for the restart here. It'll be Ford versus Toyota, F-150 versus Tundra TRD Pro on that front row. Then 2 Chevrolet Silverados in row 2, 2 more in row 3. Tundra and Chevrolet in row number 4. Lap 100, 56 laps to go, and we're back racing at Iowa. 16 didn't get a very good launch here.
No, he didn't. He'll be split 3 wide. Curriehead tries to avoid him. He does. Weishart. Oh, big crash. Someone hit the wall really hard. Someone's on their lid. Yep, Dean Thompson.
And back under yellow again.
And he is done for the race. See what happened here. Just loses it.
Loose. Whoop, and up into the wall.
And those safer barriers are supposed to be safe, but in iRacing, I guess they're not. Because that's 2 weeks in a row we've seen a wall fling someone backwards. Last week it was David Weishart.
Yeah, we'll see if this front group pits. If they don't, we'll take a break. I'm running out of stuff to talk about.
Can only talk about cars so much.
Yeah. JT Poole leads the way.
I don't expect them to pit here.
I don't think we're going to see any of our front runners come down if they didn't take the opportunity just now. So we'll step away. Again, we'll be back with a restart shortly. And back under a yellow flag here for the Area Truck Series at Iowa. It has been a tough night. Lots of yellow flags flying as we make our way through 52-ish laps to go next time by. And Connor, we were talking earlier about the Cars movies. You said you liked Cars 2. I need you to defend yourself because I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with you. You said it was because you're a kid. Is that the only reason why you still remember it fondly?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I liked it as a kid. I don't know. I think people take the Cars maybe too seriously sometimes. I didn't say it was my favorite Cars. It's not. I think the original.
So here's my feeling on Cars 3 is when I saw it in theaters, there were children there, like 6. And yeah. I got mad because Cars 3 was not a movie for children. It was not for them. It was for me. It was for the generation that grew up with the original Cars movie. So you don't get it, and you should stay home. And if you have small children, it is not for them. Make them watch the original.
Make them watch the original,
and then they have to wait 15 years like the rest of us did.
Was it 15?
Something like that. I don't know.
It was like 11. 2017, right?
That how?
Because that
was that
Cars
5 years ago. My God, 6. Oh
yeah, because you had all the Cars 3 schemes. Larson won out of Michigan. It feels like they were closer together.
Yeah, I don't know. Cars 3 not for kids. Cars 3 was for the generation that grew up with the original Cars, which means that if you were not born between the years of 1995 to 2001, couldn't have been there. Not allowed to be there in my mind.
I was born in 2002.
Yep, not for you. Because you were too young to understand that Cars 2 sucked. So you're not old enough to understand what Cars 1 was like and internalize it the right way.
All right, Kyle. Yeah, you're getting a little pissed.
I'm just saying that it is a masterpiece and it needs to be understood in the right context, and children are not, they don't get it. They don't even know who Lewis Hamilton is. Because he's the virtual assistant dude. They don't know who he is.
They don't know. They don't know Jeff Corvette or whatever his name is.
Daryl Cartrip, they don't know.
They just think he's some washed up car in the booth. That's not true.
Wow.
You don't know.
Too soon.
Oh, too soon. He's not dead. Neither is the car either.
Might as well be. Not the booth. Pace car's off. Let's try it again. 50 laps to go from Iowa. Here we go.
I am calling Daryl. He will hear about this.
52 did not get a very good restart. He slipped backwards pretty quick.
Cameron Hearn didn't really go either. Beckner's going to actually get by him here, which is really huge for how track position's important between him, Beckner, and Weishart.
I told you the 28 was going to win this race, Connor, didn't I?
I said Hearn was. It's not over yet, but Beckner has a very big advantage getting by the 4 here. It's all about who can get to the lead first, really.
Yeah, I just like the way that 28 was leading laps earlier and was putting himself in the right positions. Got a little bit off sequence from the normal leaders, but I think he's going to be in a good spot here at the end of this race.
Boy.
Here we go. Scattering everybody into turn 3.
Beckner forced it 3 wide. He wants to get to the front now, not wasting any time. Gets by Shearer, gets by Bronson Stafford, gets to the bottom of him. Then Ricky Harden down in 3rd.
You know what's interesting to note is that Travis Beckner's known as a really aggressive driver, and I don't want to jinx him right now because he's driving pretty chaotically. But I think the races are good when the 28 causes an accident because he's been mighty clean tonight, and it has not been a particularly good one. So, this is going to get tight out of 4.
Oh, half spin out of 4, but they're clean. No, they're going to wreck Hearn into Stafford, into the wall, but they keep it straight. I was about to mention Cameron Hearn has a black flag for passing Carter Coop before the line. Yeah, well, so he's got a penalty.
It's probably going to get cleared because the 52 did not go on the restart. And I think if the Edmonds would look at that, they'd see that the 52 just didn't go.
They already saw, I believe they already said it's standing. So
I don't know if I agree. I would have to go back and look at it again, Connor, but he was not accelerating with everyone else. Like looked like he missed a gear or spun the tires or something, but he was losing spots left and right as the 21 spins.
Wineland in the middle of everyone. Caution's going to come out. A few others pile in. Hearn spinning out of 2 as well. He spun and Carter Coop got in, and Paul Irvin spinning.
Oh, my goodness.
So there's another incident. I don't know what happened with Hearn, but we go yellow again regardless.
Yeah, the 21 just got turned around. Was that the 31 a Kane that got him? I couldn't quite see.
Like a blue truck was in there too.
The blue truck was in there after. That's Ted. right here. The 42 actually is Garrett Grant, and they just kind of come together. And then while they're crashing, there's the 52. He goes down the track and comes back across. And then there's Hearn, and he's out. He's called it a day.
Let's see what happened.
Oh, he just
he was calling it a day.
He had the penalty, and then he was slowing. Does he get collected here?
Oh, here comes Irvin on the apron, probably avoiding the crash behind it. And Hearn was down there. We need to see what the penalty is that they upheld as well after this. As here comes Irvin. He had to go down there.
Oh,
and then Hearn came up.
Yeah, I was going to put it on the 3, but then I saw the 4 change lanes. Let's go back and look at the restart because I want to look at the 4 again. My initial gut reaction was that shouldn't have been a penalty, but again, let's go back and look because I might be wrong. And I don't know what the stipulation for not giving a penalty would have to be.
I guess just going by what iRacing says. I mean, Carter doesn't go.
Maybe. It's like he lifted.
It's weird.
What's your thought on that? I mean, like he doesn't go here. All right, fair play. But the 4 doesn't pass him until right there. But he doesn't.
Yeah, that's tough. My understanding is that the admins go by what iRacing says. If you get a black flag, they go by what iRacing says, and they will rarely clear it. But even there, I mean, Carter Coop didn't go.
No,
you could almost classify that as avoiding a wreck. If he runs into the 52, he could hit him up into Travis Beckner and wreck the field. But he did what he did, and to not hit the 52, he did that as cleanly as possible. Yeah,
the 52 right here. He didn't actually miss a gear. He just hit the top of the rev limiter, and that's what. But that is a tough one. I mean, hey, if the rule book says that they go by what iRacing says, then that's what the rule book says, and that's what they have to do. But that's a scenario that I feel for Cameron for that particular moment.
You could see what on the restart how far back the 52 of Carter Coop was on that restart, because he restarted behind Bronson Stafford. He was almost a full half a second behind Bronson Stafford when they got to the lines. That just shows how badly that restart was missed by the 52.
Are we coming up on any time limit, by the way, Connor? Just keeping my eye on it.
Let's see. My iRacing says about an hour 25 have passed, and that would put us at about 40 minutes left. So I would think we would still have time.
Yeah, we should have time. I don't think it'll be limited, but 16 minutes if we go green from here to the end, and you know how that's gone so far. Well, I don't think it matters at this point what happens at the 4 either, because he's out.
Yeah, he called it, and he hasn't came back. So that's not the first time we've seen that with Cameron Hearn on a restart violation. It's also not the first time we've seen it in Iowa in the Pro Series last year. On one of the final restarts, he jumped a restart, and it took him out of contention. So it is unfortunate. I don't know what else. He couldn't have done much more to avoid that situation, but also it is not the first time he's been in that box.
So we'll try it again. We'll have 40 laps to go at the restart, and it's so few laps. I mean, you could whip those out in 15 minutes, but something tells me this will be one of those that ends under yellow. We got, green, white, checkered and the whole scenario. So track position is key. Beckner's going to have it. He'll be restarting on the outside. David Weiss starting at 29. He's quietly been lingering up there all night too, and in position to steal it back from Beckner.
Yeah, and it's down. It's almost down pretty much to those two now. It was them plus Skyol. Excuse me, not them plus Skyol. It was them plus Hearn. Hearn out of the equation. It's going to be a race between those two to get by Danny Ware and then race away from the field and try to win this thing. I have not seen anyone other than those three be able to contend for the lead on even tires. So it just could be a race between the 28 and 29 from here on out, but there's still a long way to go.
Pace car, again, is going to make that turn onto pit lane. And Danny Ware in the 49 has the race lead in the Simrap Market Silverado, and there's the green flag. Good launch for the inside row, as we've seen so far tonight. They're 3 wide in the background. JT Poole almost doing what the 4 did on the prior restart, but didn't get all the way there.
Weishart hit the bumps on the bottom. He gets back into 3rd. Beckner gets a good jump away from that Silverado as they're side by side, behind Shearer. That's Philip York continuing a good run. Curhan trying to fight on the top side.
Yeah, and my vote for Beckner is don't wait around, and he's not going to. Get to the lead, have that track position, and just cling to it. Ooh, that was a big slide in 1 and 2.
I like what Ware's doing. Make him go around you on the bottom, but Beckner's going to go to the top immediately as Ware goes to the bottom. He's trying to get the run down into turn number 1. Does he try to go to the top again? He'll cross over. Same move he did earlier. Great elevator move again. He'll send it to the bottom, but Ware pinches hard on that door. He's going to have to deal with the bumps again, but Ware up the track as well. Is he cleared? Not quite.
No, not quite. Great racing, though, there by the 28. They're touching in the background, the 83. And that was the 83 and the 36 of Caston that almost came together, but Beckner muscles his way by. Well done with that crossover move, Connor. That was decisive.
That was really well executed to get the run through 3 and 4.
Got popcorn back here.
Oh, Danny Ware got sideways, but he saved it. But this is still wild back here. Let's not go 3 wide. He thought better of it. Weishart's going for that runner-up position. He's trying to keep pace with the 28 as those 3 are well away from the rest of the field.
By the way, we had 43 trucks start this, and there are 31 remaining, but there are only 28 anywhere close to the lead lap. And that just tells you that your fields are probably too big, Connor, that if you can't get green flag racing until you've cleared out 15 trucks, then probably bring the field sizes down a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to see if there's anything about that going into next week, but definitely nothing will change for Thursday night. But yes, 24 on the lead lap to be exact, and Schillenberg at the very end of that, well off the pace. So definitely starting to weed out some guys, and it's providing us some green flag racing. And we're still pretty scrambled up and 4th on back. Alan Elwood gets up to 4th, passes Edward Shear, who's very damaged but still maintaining a top 5 spot.
Yeah, look at this mess behind. It's like we're watching Eldora with all the different lanes we've got going on here. 51 of Shear just battling his way through. Michael Curhan in the background on the high side. I thought Curhan was wrecked earlier, was he not?
I guess not. He clearly was able to.
Oh, I was thinking of the 6, I think.
Or maybe the 2. Well, a Physicus Motorsports truck, Greg Mitchell, maybe you were thinking of.
Yeah, could have been.
He's the next one to get away from this, what I would say, mess. Caston, Poole, Shear, 3 wide. Caston almost scraping the wall, but he makes it work on the top lane. Strong move there. As Bradshaw Jr. gets back on track after repairs. Shear and York got together. Therian's going to take advantage. Oh, they almost hit again.
Yeah, they ran the wall. Ran the 97 up the hill. I don't think he liked that. Here comes the 87 to the bottom now to try to be a part of this. And Jacob Bell watching all of it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It wasn't really worth mentioning, but Bradshaw Jr. just got out of the pits, repaired his truck, and then he spun out of pit exit out of 2. So that's unfortunate. As at the lead, top 2 are pretty much away with a decent gap over Danny Ware.
And for 6th place, Caston and Poole. This is down into turn 1.
Side by side, tough to do it down there on the bottom, but the 26 truck got over the bumps really well, but you see that run on the top side. It's going to keep Caston just barely ahead, but 26 much better on entry. Caston carries it on exits, though.
Right back here, 51.83 and the 16. Very close together.
Yeah, Shear is dropping hard here. Damage plus not having fresh tires really taking its toll. Tom Horn's going to try to take advantage next. Weishart still trying to look at this battle. He's trying every lane to try to counteract Beckner. Beckner hit the apron through 3 and 4. Look at this run by Weishart.
Oh, he's going to have it too. Here he comes to the inside for the lead, and down to the bottom comes the 29.
This is going to be tight off of the next set of corners. Coming up on Blaine Harrison too soon. Gonna run the top, gets out of 4.
Side by side for the lead. Beckner re-clears Weishart and hangs on for the moment.
Don't look now, but Alan Elwood gets the 3rd, and he is just as fast as those 2. In fact, he was faster last lap.
Whoa. That was
Harrison
close.
gets out of the way, yeah. He almost lost it getting out of the way, but he does get out of the way. 3 wide back there. York Waterworth Bourne is sorted out. Getting really close, getting really tough back there, but these two still going at it for the lead.
And here comes the 16 to the bottom, trying to make that short line work and trying to slide up in front of the 77, and we'll shut that door. The leaders still run nose to tail, and now it's 25 to go next time by. We're ticking off laps pretty quick. About 10 minutes worth of racing left if it stays green.
And Weisehart's faster right now. Beckner's struggling to get out of the corners, and Weishart just, I think if he gets by, I don't know if Beckner can do anything about it, but it's so hard to make a pass work here. Weishart's got a lot of work to do to get it done. He's got to make sure he gets it done before Alan Elwood might have a chance of getting up there. He was almost 2/10 faster than the 2 leaders last time by.
Yeah, that 10 truck is coming, and he hasn't really led a whole lot, actually, at all tonight. He hasn't even been this high, but he definitely has pace. And he might show it, especially if these two start to tangle, and there is definitely other groups that could slow this progress of this race if they get together, but this lead is going to come together quick.
And JT Poole's joining Elwood as well. He was so close last night in the Cup race. He's trying to get some redemption tonight. It looks like Weishart's just so much better off the corner, gets so much more momentum, but Beckner defending on the top line, it just lets him get back away.
Whoa, this is a mess out of turn 2.
I think there was a semi-wreck back there, but it didn't bring out a yellow yet. Watch out. That's Therian on the top. That was insanely close. Side by side still, but just Beckner can just keep using that top line, getting the run to his advantage. He's gonna give Weishart the top. Actually, no, he doesn't. He kind of tries to give him dirty air, but look how close those two, Elwood and Poole, are getting.
Closing in on 20 laps to go. They're ticking away now. And finally the leaders get a chance to kind of run the tires, and they have not really had a chance to race this long, to see how the truck transitions over a run. So they're going to be learning on the fly right now.
Yeah, especially Beckner. I think that's why he's struggling. A lot of these guys are struggling in the long run. They weren't ready to go long run here, and we're maybe expecting another yellow. So Beckner is really struggling to keep drivers behind him because of that, but he's using that top line to such an advantage right now.
Whoa, slide out of 2 for Beckner, and he's going to drop to the inside of the 9 truck. Billingberger, they're putting a lap down. And here comes Weishart right against that yellow line, painting that yellow line with 20 laps to go. Here they come.
And this is what Elwood needs. He needs side-by-side action to try and take advantage and maybe even try a 3-wide move. I'm just surprised Beckner's so high up. That's not the line I would be running. I'd be pinching Weishart to that yellow line, especially through 1 and 2. But saying that, he's still able to get the run off the corner, even that high up.
Oh, big lunge from
Here
the
comes
10.
Elwood.
That was a big lunge, and he's got pace with it. And the 26 truck is in the mix now. Here we go, 4-truck race, 19 to go.
This is what we were waiting for, to get some racing and running for the win, and we're getting it right now. Elwood is firing into every corner, but especially turn 3. Weishart needs to go, or else Elwood will try to go himself. He does not have much time to make this move.
Yeah, he might have already run himself out of time. That 10 truck might be faster, but is the 29 quicker without the 28 in the way? Jury's still out on.
I still think he is, but I think he's running out of tire to battle. It's getting harder and harder for him to paint the bottom under Travis Beckner. And he's definitely running out of time to be able to make that work on the bottom, because the 10 will likely move him if he has to. Beckner not good at it too, but that top line gets him back clear.
And here comes the 10 to the inside. He's going to dive underneath the 29 of Weishart. Here comes the move from Alan Elwood.
And JT Poole, 2x2 through 3 and 4. This is what we're waiting for. Weishart's going to dive back to the bottom, take that line away.
This is what we were expecting out of Iowa, and it just took 120 laps to get there. Here comes Elwood now, slides up, keeps the 26 behind him. Another big lunge to the inside of the 29.
They might be through right off the corner at some point, but Weishart's trapped this time. JT Poole's just able to run his line the way he wants, but now Elwood's going to be trapped on the bottom, and JT Poole's going to try to go to the top line and take advantage.
Here comes Poole to try up the middle.
Oh, Beckner sideways through turn number 2. He is almost out of right rear tire life, but he is still able to hold off all 3 of these guys. The 10 so deep into the corner.
And here comes the 26. Look at this crossover. Look at the lap traffic on the outside. Everybody, oh, where's it going?
Oh, no. He's staying in the way. That's going to hurt Weishart. He's got front end damage now. He's got to get out of the way. He did last time, not this time. Weishart's going to lose 2 spots, maybe.
That was the 66 of Blaine Harrison, 17 laps down.
And now he gets out of the way.
And Beckner under fire from the 10. Here comes Elwood.
Weishart's going to have a run back here. Does he go low? Yes. Nope, he's just going to shove Elwood here.
He might be out of juice. He might know that 10's quicker.
I just think Elwood's too strong on the bottom for Beckner to hold off, but he held off the 29, and I thought Weishart would blow by him, and he wasn't able to. Anything's on the table now. I think even the guys battling for 5th are on the table. It's Michael Curhan and Danny Ware side by side.
13 laps to go. And Beckner, that was a good lap.
Yeah, he got a gap there, I was about to say, but look how high he is into the bumps, maybe too high there. The 10's going to be able to get right back in it.
And again, Allen's just lunging off into 3, and he's got overlap here for a moment, just enough to trip the spotter on Beckner. That's close enough to scare him.
Letting him know he's there, trying to throw him off his game by doing that. Just trying different things, trying different looks.
Out of view on the right, it's so close.
Yeah, it is really close, and I think Weishart's damage is hurting him, and it's hurting JT Poole. He's not able to get by and make a move on him, so those two might drop back. It could be between Beckner and Elwood.
Elwood's trying. You see the eyes look up in the mirror to keep an eye on the 29 and the 26. And Poole now to the inside of Weishart, but it's so hard to make a move down there this late in the race.
Especially when the tires wear out, that right front gets more worn. You get tighter through center on exit. You can't throttle up as much. It gets more and more difficult. Here's a dive to the inside by Poole. Going to try to throttle up and clear Weishart, not able to do it.
Yeah, you saw the 10 do something different that lap. He ran the high lane. Beckner's runs are just too big for Elwood to overcome. He's going to go back to the bottom here and do something different. It's working for him in 1 and 2, but the different lane is not doing what it needs it to do in 3 and 4.
Oh.
10 to go this time.
Almost a big block. I thought it was 150. I'm sorry. But yes, 10 to go. Actually, 9 to go. Coming 9 to go this time by Poole. Tried to go to the inside. Weishart tried to shut it off. Couldn't. But Poole is a little faster, but just cannot get by as Paul Irvin gives way.
Beckner's been running pretty consistent laps, all 24 6s. Elwood's right with them, but he's running the similar lap times, but not really much better or any worse for that matter. But he's losing some ground now.
Yeah, I think he's just trying everything different. He gets out of a bottom because of a lap truck, but he's just trying things different. You're not going to beat him by running his line. You got to try something different, whether you're lower or higher than him. Got to do something else.
And the lap traffic's not helping either, because if they're on the bottom, then he's going to have to go to the high side where his truck isn't as good. So he's kind of blocked away from, and he's going to go to the bottom again here. Bobby Tinch up the road there. He's 36th, 54 laps down. He does the time thing and drops to the apron.
Drops the pit lane. It's good on him. Elwood's starting to lose time now. He actually gained a little bit there, but I think he needs to move up in 1 and 2. I think those bumps in the bottom of 1 and 2, they're 4 wide, excuse me. They're 4 wide getting around Paul Irvin back there, but they do it well. But I think running the bottom of 1 and 2, those bumps are hurting him. I think he needs to move up 1 more groove. But he gets to the bottom of Beckner here. He's back to the left rear through the corner, but can't maintain on exit.
Yeah, he's really good at corner entry down there at 3, but if you're not able to hold it, and Beckner knows that, he knows that outside is going to pay off on the straightaway, then he's going to keep doing what he's doing. And until Elwood can take him out of that groove, it's going to be a hard sell to get this 10 past the 28.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult. No doubt about that. Keeps trying the same thing. He's diving almost lower, it seems like, every lap, but I think he lost some time this time. Was not as close to the left rear on Beckner that time around.
5 laps to go from Iowa. You see the gap closed here. Ooh, wow, the bump's up top.
Too high.
That was way too high. Here comes the 10 now. Side by side down the back straightaway. He's going to get re-cleared, but just. Here comes the famous 10 lunge into turn 3.
I was thinking he might try a slide job, but he wasn't close enough. Beckner's going to be able to maintain, but that's why I'm surprised he's running that high in 1 and 2. If you hit those bumps wrong, you are absolutely gone. So I'm shocked he's still up there, but he's made it work for now. I don't think he's going to move away from it. As you can see, Weishart's almost coming back into the play as they're dead even at it too.
Yeah, and the 28 realized his mistake and got way less high that time around. But here comes a 10 again, pulling even in 3 and 4. He'll be on his door. If he enters 3 and 4 higher with the same kind of dive, he'd be on his door, but now the 29 is on his bumper.
And he might need to make a change just to keep the 29 behind him. But he's going to go, he's going to go to the middle here and kind of go a little bit higher. He's going to get a much better run out of 2 on Beckner, but not able to get to the bumper. Coming to 2 to go.
And if we get to the white flag, we are safe from ending under yellow in what was a very yellow-filled race. The 10 is so close. 2 laps to go.
From? Tom Bourne's right there. He's going for 4th. Where did he come from?
No, he came from the mix. Here comes the 10. 28 has to run lower because of Carter Coop on the high side. And Elwood might be able to box him in here, but he's not close enough.
Oh, where's Coop going to go? He's going to go to the top. Beckner's going to be the one to the bottom. This is going to give Elwood the top, but he's going to have to deal with the lap truck of Carter Coop out of the corner. But he's got a much better run on Beckner.
Oh, slide! He's going to slide out of the way and down to the apron. Here comes Weishart now to second, pulls through, and so is Bourne. He gave it everything he had, but it was not enough. Now, Beckner just has to cling on for 2 more corners, but that 29 truck is there, Connor.
Yeah, it's not over yet. He has 1 dive into 3. He's going to go for it on the bottom. How hard does he try on Beckner? Can he get the run out? I don't think he has quite enough.
Side by side to the stripe, Travis Beckner hangs on and wins at Iowa in style, slipping and sliding. And David Weishart gave it everything he had in that last corner. But fair, clean racing up front. That was good stuff.
That was a good ending to what was otherwise not a great race before that, but a great finish. We had 5 guys at the end of that race who could have won it. I thought the 10 was going to have the run out of 4, but he just ran out of tire life and slid too much. Alan Elwood did. And then Weishart, I thought he was done, and he came back almost out of nowhere himself. But Beckner was able to hold on. He had to hold off 3 or 4 drivers for that one tonight.
Mason Kane giving him a high five here. And the 28 is going to celebrate. And I picked this driver to win. I mentioned he doesn't normally qualify well, but look where he qualified today. 3rd. Led laps early and led a whole bunch at the end. 53 in total. And he gets it done at Iowa.
In thrilling fashion, too. Absolutely thrilling fashion. Lap traffic came into play at the end, whether it was a 66 or 52. Definitely had some lap traffic come into play, but even without lap traffic, he was on edge. Beckner was on the top lane, refusing to give anyone his right rear quarter panel to get the run on him. And I think that's what won him the race.
Yeah, certainly. Here's a look at your race results. Beckner, Weishart, Poole, Bourne, Elwood, 5th. That'll be a disappointing end for the number 10. Garrett Grant, Curhan, Ware, Waterworth, and Caston, the rest of that top 10, Connor.
Yeah, Danny Ware, top 10 in his 100th start. He'll be happy about that. Bryce Senesac, didn't really talk about him at all tonight, but he gets 11th. York and Bell, 12th and 13th. York fell off a little bit at the end. Charles Canita, he was crashed in turn 1. He gets 14th. Aiden Roberson was one of the first drivers in an incident, 15th. Darian Anasogak recovers. Shear fell off at the end. And James Scioli, even with all that damage, he was able to maintain to get back to 19th place. So a silver lining for the 7, I'm sure.
Yeah, Joseph Jones, 20th, looking down the rest of the order there. Some drivers with a tough day. Ricky Harden was running well, ended up 25th. Same with Eric Wineland, 27th for him. Dean Thompson with that big crash in turn 1. Cameron Hearn out with a penalty and then getting caught up in a crash. Brad Slaughter Jr. had to feel for him. Victim in an accident, 38th after running up front all night long.
And once again, the bad luck for Cameron Hearn just continues. No matter where he is on track, it just something goes wrong. Whether it's his doing, not his doing, it's just something's got to change. I don't know what, but he just has nothing going his way lately.
Well, JT Poole had a strong run last night. Tonight comes home in 3rd in the Truck Series race. JT, that was a long night and a tough race for sure, but we did end on a high note at least with a good run to the end there. Take us through that last run and that battle back to the checkers.
Yeah, we were in a good position there when we came down to take that last pit stop, but I don't know why, but iRacing only gave me right side tires and didn't give me any fuel. So I don't know, maybe some left side good times and a little bit more fuel might have been what we needed to have a shot at the win. And we had a lot of damage from earlier on. So, but that was really good racing up front. It was super clean at the end there for at least the top 4. I wish it was like that for the rest of the field the entire race, but still a good run. And I don't know what else I need to do to win. I got 2nd last week at Charlotte, got 2nd yesterday in the Cup car, and 3rd here today. So still looking for just whatever else I need to finish 1st.
JT Poole, 3rd place tonight in the 26 Ford F-150. JT, thanks for chatting. See you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
David Weishart, second place. Gave it everything you had there, David, right at the tail end of that. Started up in first, and tonight kept the truck up there most of the night. A little bit of damage from a lapper late there in the going in your battle with Travis, but rallied for a P2. Take us through it.
Well, I wish I could say that was a fun race, but we weren't really racing. It was pacing. So we got a lot of work to do in this series. I'm sorry y'all gotta commentate that. There ain't much to commentate there, but yeah, the last tell you what, the last I don't know however many laps it felt like an eternity, but the end of the race was a lot of fun. I was a lot quicker than Travis. Well, first off, when I pitted and came out 10th, that was the farthest back I had been all race, so that made me like super nervous. And like 2 restarts in a row, I took 3 wide because I was on the outsides behind guys on old tires, and Sucks Cameron got that penalty. He was one of the fast. I felt like him, Travis, and me were the top 3 tonight. But anyway, yeah, I'm all over the place. It's been a long night.
Yeah, it's been a long one, David.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, at the end, I burnt up my right front. I overheated it, and trying to get around Travis on the bottom, and Alan got around me, and I was trying to hold off JT behind me. I was finally able to get to the point where JT wasn't underneath me, and I cooled my right front off for about 4 or 5 laps and started to get back to Alan and Travis, and I thought I'd let Alan do the dirty work there. If they got together, I'd be there to pick up the scraps. But unfortunately, Alan got loose, and I made a run there at the end. My whole team was telling me to just drive it in there, do anything you can for the win. But I don't like racing like that. I know me and Travis have had our differences in the past, but if I win, I like to race clean, and I like to get the same respect back. So a lot of fun tonight. Glad to come home with the P2. I know a lot of my team struggled tonight, so yeah, just glad to come home with P2 with a clean truck.
Good race to finish things out, David. P2, we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Sorry for the long-winded answer.
No worries.
No problem.
And Travis Beckner gets it done. Travis, I picked you to win this race. You did me proud, buddy. 3rd place tonight, a strong qualifying effort, and a lot of track position plays tonight, a lot of yellow flags. But when push came to shove, when we got the green flags, you were just out there driving away until the very end. Had a good race there. Take us through it.
Yeah, there at the end, I'm pretty sure I held my breath the last 5 laps. I hardly remember some of it, but that was an amazing race there at the end. But who cares about what happened at the beginning with all the cautions? Because that was fun. That was a lot of fun racing with Elwood, Weishart, and Poole, and everybody that was up there. But holy cow, I'm exhausted after that one.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough one, Travis. But got it done, got a win. Things are looking up for you. We go road racing next week. Watkins Glen, one of my favorite places, my home track. I'm actually headed there in real life tomorrow. What are your thoughts on the road racing in next week?
Oh, I cannot wait for road course racing. That's my forte right there. I just gotta find a way to get around Skyilla and hold it in front of them next week. I know there's a few guys that joined that are road course ringers as well. But yep, gonna put in some practice by the time the race happens, and hopefully we could get it done again next week.
Travis, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Before I go, I'd like to thank some people and sponsors. First off, before I get yelled at again, I got to thank my grandparents. They pay for half the internet bill. If not that, I would be running off a hotspot right now. But my dad, mom, everybody else that watched tonight, y'all taking the time out of the day to come broadcast this. But on to the sponsors: Collier Cutters Landscaping, Thompson Piper, Rick's Hot Sauce, Celsius, Area, iRacing.com, Black Buffalo, Holston River Machine, and DG Creative, and Miller, and everybody at Miller Racing, Solid Rock Performance.
Got them all?
Yep.
All right. We'll see you next week, Travis. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, Connor, wrapping things up real briefly here. We saw the racing tonight. It was a tough one, but good run to the end there. Beckner, Weishart, Poole, Elwood battling it out to the end. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, definitely like Charlotte. We didn't have the run at the beginning. We had a little run, but not the run that we had at Charlotte. And then we had a similar, just a barrage of yellows. Definitely really unfortunate. And I know the admins want better and deserve better. The drivers got to do better in return for those guys. So hopefully we see that next week in a truck series, and hopefully tomorrow in the pro series at the same track tomorrow. So hopefully see something better. But like I said, just like Charlotte, a lot of yellows, but turned into a good finish in a short amount of time. Numerous drivers in the battle for the win. Beckner had to hold off 4 separate drivers: Weishart, Poole, Bourne, and Elwood. Had Carter Coop not been on the top lane coming out of 4 on the coming to the white flag, could have been a different story. Elwood might have had a shot at the 28's bumper, or maybe just slid up into him in turn 1. Could have been a different story, but at the end of the day, Beckner did a really, really solid job getting through all that and able to defend to the very end.
That'll do it for us tonight from Iowa Speedway. We'll see you back here again Thursday night for the Area Pro Series, and next week from Watkins Glen. Thanks so much.